why it's really important to have a plan. Have a plan and understand what your goals are.
In fact, my camel out there is suffering right now with a broken back.
So I actually found Pepe when it was only a couple of hours old, and I'm like, oh, this is a funny meme.
Oh my god.
Yo! Who is this DJ?
The old man is swing trading over years at a time. And it's like, that's where the real money is made.
The answer is a permanent loss. With single-sided staking, you don't have to worry about impermanent loss.
And really, at the end of the day, it's just a matter of a macro market. It's just what happens.
If you're aware, if you're disciplined, you can hone that into further financial growth.
Financial freedom. So we can actually live life and not have to be constantly living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, that's the ultimate goal, more or less, right? Oh boy, here we are. We are live with Whiskey Wednesday, guys. This is the D-Gen Roundtable, and you fellow degenerates are going to be here drinking with us, I hope, because this is the fun times. So, I want to go ahead and show everybody a new thing that I learned how to do. You watch this. Whoa! Oh, God, that's so much fun. Anyways, thank you guys for being here. Today, we're just going to be going over, for the most part, the Pulse or the PLS369 conference. We're going to be talking about kind of our experiences there. If you guys want to hop on later on as well and talk about your experiences, we would love to hear it. But I have a couple of DGens with me, just a few of them right here. Two of them actually went with me to the conference itself, so we can get their opinions. But before I get too much into like the details and everything, let's go ahead and pass it on over to the first DGen on my, what would this be? This would be my left over here. Will Stevenson. Will, how are you doing today?
I am doing pretty good. I always get confused with like camera right versus like my right, you know? It's like wait, no, fuck. God damn it. I know that if I point this way, in real life, it points the opposite way on the camera. So, like, if I wanted to toss it to Nate, I have to, like, actively point the other way from the way that I see. But, yeah, dude, fucking camera right, camera left. I suppose I'll get used to it at some point. But I'm doing great. I'm driving back to Texas. I'm actually in Texas right now. I'm about to pass through Amarillo. So, not terribly far from the one of the world's largest steaks that you can get. It's like a 72-ounce steak that if you eat it in under an hour, then the steak is free. And I gotta say, it's a big ass fucking steak. I've had it before, and I much prefer the ribeyes because a 72-ounce steak is just way too much fucking like way too much meat, not enough fat, not enough delicious. Anyways, I'm joining on and on. I'm doing great. The conference was great. Life is good. I'm fucking pumped, full of energy, and I'm ready to get this show on the road. Mrs. Producer, how are you doing? What were your thoughts on the conference?
Well, I thought it was a lot of fun. A lot like New York. Get to meet everybody, say hi, hang out, and just make new friends and greet old friends too. It's always wonderful seeing everybody in this community. At least, well, the 2 times I've done it, I guess I can't say like, oh, I'm an expert, but every time I have met up with people, it's been awesome. So had a lot of fun. Got to meet some of our bigger people in the chat. We had Centurion out there. Farmer was out there. I didn't recognize Farmer. Guys, for like the first 5 or 6 times I saw him, I didn't know who he was. And then finally he like introduced himself and he's like offended. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I felt so bad. He looks a little different in person than I had expected. So did you have something to say, Will?
Oh, no, I was just going to tee off of that, like, Farmer's fucking awesome. But you go ahead, finish your thought. Don't listen to me. I'm muting myself again.
Okay, I just heard you come off and I was like, oh, okay. But no, yeah, Farmer is awesome. Centurion is awesome. They're all awesome people. Like, you see them in the community. They are the same people in real life. And it's really nice to be like, hey, you're a genuine human. And there's really no surprises. Like, none of them turned out to be really different than I thought, other than Farmer looking a little different than I was expecting. He was shorter than I had predicted he would be. So I still feel bad about that. But anyways, I'm going to pass this on to Bean and see what he's got to say.
What is up, DGen and DGenettes? What is up, my fellow DGen Roundtable brethren and sistren? I'm excited to be here on a Wednesday night. You know, we didn't stream Sunday, didn't stream last Wednesday. A lot of people traveling, a lot going on. I was excited to watch the Pulse Chain conference, but because of a lot of potential, well, it's a potential, but because of some audio visual issues, I wasn't able to watch. But I'm excited to hear about everything from you guys tonight. Also excited to see some of the recordings once they get uploaded. And we also had a CPI print today. So that was very interesting. I do want to get into that just a tidbit at some point tonight. Nothing too crazy because it is Whiskey Wednesday. And I wasn't asked, but I'm going to tell you what I'm sipping on tonight. I am sipping on Hawaii Mars whiskey. I believe Mars must be in Japan because this is bottled in Japan. But yeah, it's an interesting whiskey. It's not my favorite, but it's not bad. So let's give a little taste test here. Yeah, still don't love it. It's my second or third time having it, but nonetheless, washing it down with a gluten-free Redbridge. And other than that, I'm excited that we're going to have some of the community on tonight. And look, the market's been challenging. I know a lot of people are stressed out. Like, is the bull market over? Are we done? Is everything going to shit? Just chill. At least in our DGen Roundtable and on many videos, we have said that 30% pullback is normal. In fact, you want to see that for a healthy pullback. Now, there are some macroeconomic and government and trade tariffs. There's a lot of uncertainty out there. And when there's uncertainty, the market reacts with volatility, which is what you've been seeing. But we still have overall, for me, a strong bullish structure, a lot of bullish news moving forward. So, always have to be ready for both sides of it. But I'm still on the very bullish side for this year. Might not get that alt season like we anticipated until later in the year, especially when they hopefully start to ease and release more money out into the market. But yeah, once the interest rates start coming down at a more rapid pace, that's going to be risk on for altcoins. So anyway, Nate, back to you, brother.
Hell yeah, Bean. Yeah, no, I agree with you. It is kind of interesting because I've been thinking that there's going to be two waves for alt season, right? And the first one's going to be muted. Everyone's going to be disappointed, and it's going to make people feel like, oh, it's all over. Look at we didn't get an alt season, and my bags didn't go up, and it's going to cause people to kind of just want to get away from crypto altogether, sell really low, and overall just kind of nuke their own bags. But I do believe, and I think I'm going to make a show on this, that there's kind of with all the printing that was going on, all the forever QE that was going on, I believe what we're seeing right now is just those delayed effects of just how rough the market actually is. There's also some theories going around that Donald Trump is doing this on purpose because he wants them to cut rates. So he's just basically kind of causing a recession a little bit, which, I mean, the tariffs themselves is creating a lot of instability for people, for the markets in general. Because if you're looking around, it's not just Pulse Chain is down, guys. It's Ethereum is down. It's also that Bitcoin is down. It's also the S&P is down. Stock markets are down. Everything is down, guys. So it's not just your crypto. It's literally everything is down. And you just got to hold in there till, we start going back up. And that's when the fun starts. All right, guys, just got to wait. Just got to be patient.
Yeah. And we haven't lost any really important numbers for Bitcoin. The one number that I'm still looking at is 74,000. If it goes below that, then who knows? Then that's a bit scary for me. But as long as I kind of anticipated going below 80 at some point, or thought we could, didn't necessarily anticipate it. And that's okay. We're still holding sort of strong in that low 80s, and we'll see what happens. But 74K is really that number that I'm looking at. That if we go below and close below, that could be a bit more scary, and I would have to kind of potentially change my thesis a little bit. But none of that is happening. And again, we're still just getting positive, bullish crypto news throughout the world and throughout the market. So everything, all the news about crypto has been bullish, even if the price hasn't been.
Yeah, absolutely. Alrighty. Well, before we get going on talking about the Pulse conference, all that, let's go ahead and jump into Chat shout outs. I know, Will, this is usually your thing where you hold up that sign, but you are driving right now. So,
Yeah. And I would normally have it like right up here in the front seat, but I don't. I have this piece of paper that has some kalimba notes on it. So we'll just pretend it's time for chat motherfucking shout outs, ladies and gentlemen. Just imagine that it's written on that piece of paper right there. So there you go, Nate. Take it away.
Alrighty, there we go. So first up is not Kentarian. You got beat, bro. You got freaking beat 50%. But yeah, he got beat by Fox Mulder. Just simply a whiskey glass with Wednesday. Yes, sir. Looking forward to it, right? And then next up, we got Moonpill Rational Optics. Grab the whiskey and toast the glass to the Knights of the Round Table. Yes, sir. That's for you. Alrighty. And then, of course, Funk Master Hex, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, which he always has his drink ready at hand, ready to go.
My man.
And now finally, Kentarian 54 shows up. Oh, man, bro, you're so late. What's up, D-Gens? What's up, Centurion? Then we have Hex again, Lost in Asia. Let's go. And I agree. Let's fucking go, man. Then Tam, good evening, my beautiful fam. We are very happy that you're here with us watching. We love you very much, Tam. And then Crispy's just degenning 55555. Obviously, that's the only thing to do. Bam, right there. And then we got West. Sup, gang? Sup, West? What's going on with you? We have Farmer over here. What is Pulse Chain? Yeah, I think he's more of kind of like a Polygon type of guy myself. You know, I don't think he's ever even gotten into Pulse Chain. That's okay. We'll get him yet.
You know, I will say, we've had.
Yeah, go ahead. Are you good? Okay.
No,
and then we got Cotton Trust
cutting
here.
in and out just 'cause my brain.
Gotcha. Bad internet problems. Why? Here for the free hot dogs. Cotton Trust is here for the free hot dogs. So am I. You can always get a glizzy or two, right? And then we got Slide. Time to buy when it's down? ? Yeah. Totally.
So, I mean, I was able to pick up some more Hex under a cent this week. So, under even 0.9, I think is what my lowest buy was. And I'll take that. Look, it's hard because we've been buying the dip for 2 years now. So, I get that people are losing patience, but stay strong, keep working hard, make that extra cash, and buy those dips. Not financial advice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. I was going to say, you always want to be buying when everyone else is selling. And if everyone's selling or if everyone's buying, then you want to be doing the flip-flop of what everyone else is doing, because everyone fucking sucks. And so don't listen to that everyone person. Sometimes we are everyone, though. So, like, take what I say with a grain of salt.
Yeah. The difference is we're actually trying to help. We're not trying to sell our bags into people. But nonetheless, that doesn't mean we're always right. So don't take what we say as gospel. Do your own research and make your own decisions.
Absolutely. That is something that I actually did talk about on stage on the conference, but we will get to that in a second here because we still have Hex Monkey still bullish as fuck. Hell yeah,
Monkey.
Bullish AF. Let's go. Also, I got one from Cotton Trust. He's like, hang in there, y'all. Just one more dip 20 more times.
We just keep dipping. Go ahead, Cass. What you got?
We got Slide. A message for you, Will. He says, don't crash, bro.
Don't crash, bro. I won't crash, Josh. You got this, amigo.
Alrighty. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and let's jump into that subject there about not necessarily trusting or taking, like, say, our word as gospel, right? Let's go ahead and jump into that real quick. On stage, one of the biggest things that I was telling people is that one of the biggest issues that a lot of people end up doing, I would say, is just taking whatever influencers, whatever they're saying, and saying, okay, yeah, that's going to be the way. I'm going to go put my money over here and put my money over there. Oh, the hype train. Yay, this thing is coming out. It's launching. I'm going to get into it like literally at the top before it starts to crash. It's like there's a little too much of that going on. Now, I know for us, right, I get a little bit closer to the actual coins and projects than the majority of the DJ Roundtable generally does. But even as close as I get to these projects and these coins, I'm always looking objectively at, what is the coin doing? What is the project doing, right? And I try to not say, yes, you need to go buy this coin right now. As soon as you start hearing influencers saying that, I would double check. But the other thing that, in my personal opinion, is you need to take what we say and then cross-reference it with other influencers, right? Don't just stick to one influencer and be like, yeah, that's definitely that right there. That's the thing. Go cross-reference around, right? Start getting more information from others. Ask around with, like, say, a coin or a project. What do you think of this? Is it good? Do a little bit of research yourself. Kind of look into it. Is this something I would actually want, right? Most of the time, people they kind of, I would say that they just try to get into a coin to go 100x and then they can get out, and they're expecting that to happen within like 3 months or so, like maximum. What's your guys' thoughts on this?
I got a quick thought on this, and that was like one of the first panels, I think, where you had said that, right, Nate? It was onboarding into the crypto space, panel number 1. And the folks at home, like, apologies for the that we couldn't pull that one out of StreamYard and get it to be good quality. Mrs. McGettitt's been doing a fantastic job. By the way, shout out to Mrs. Producer for all the stuff she's doing with getting those videos up and rocking and rolling to put up on the Discourse Syndicate. But you guys at home aren't going to be able to see the first 2 panels, but Nate was absolutely right, and he hit that point like straight. Oh, hang on, sorry, Garmin was talking to me there. He hit the point straight on the head. I had a thing going on. You had mentioned don't listen to influencers. Oh, that's right. The fucking campfire story thesis, right? Yeah. So those of you who have watched this show, you'll hear me say all the time that everything that anyone tells you is a fucking campfire story. Whether they're your teacher in school, whether it's your parents on things growing up, whether it's your religious educators, whether it's the news on TV, whether it's like, whoever. Everything, every bit of information that you hear in every single walk of life, it's all just a functional campfire story. Don't take anything too seriously. Give it as much value as you decide is appropriate, and especially so when it comes to, like, these internet gambling Ponzi systems that we're all engaging in here on the like the blockchain space. There's a lot of folks talking about, hey, buy this brand new Solana pump coin, buy this frickin', this thing that's been just recently launched, like Elon dog fart with glasses or some shit, whatever it might be. Shout out to Elon dog fart with glasses. I'm gonna make everything that everyone says has some sort of reason, like, why they're saying it. And so you need to determine, like, hey, are they telling me the campfire stories for my sake, or are they telling me the campfire stories for their sake? When you're sitting at home watching Fox News, Fox wants you to believe in the stuff that they say and go along with the narrative that they're spinning, or with, like, the implication of a narrative that they're spinning. Same thing with CNN. Same thing with the Muslim imams and the Jewish rabbis and the Catholic priests. Same thing with the teachers in your school. Like, you have to sit there and critically evaluate, like, are these people telling me something to make me more powerful, or are they telling me something to make the system that they're a part of more powerful? Like, what is their goal? Are they trying to take things away from me? Or are they trying to give me more? So just think about that whenever you're listening to anyone. Make your own decisions and cross-pollinate and cross-reference all of the data and all the information that you get from multiple people, so that way you can be the best informed and you can make the best decisions. I'm kind of beating a dead horse here, but that was my thought. Brendan or Cass, you guys got anything for this?
Yeah. Well, first I'd say that I think it is good to get multiple points of view, but most people are getting multiple points of view of people that agree. You also have to go to the other side and find influencers that actually are talking about maybe the exact opposite of what we're talking about, maybe disagreement of what we're talking about. You really need to try to get the whole picture from within this sphere, because, look, we're going to be wrong sometimes. Other people are going to be wrong sometimes. But if you're really serious about your thesis, then you really need to put it up against the opposite thesis. And so it's important to talk and listen to both of those types of people. And while I think that we really do a good job at trying to give you good information. And what's nice about the Digital Roundtable is there's 10 of us. So we're collaborating as 10 people, not just one voice. And sometimes we have differences of opinion. And so you'll get differences of opinion here on this show within, potentially even one Whiskey Wednesday or one Flagship Sunday show. But at times we're also in agreement, and so we're not always going to disagree on things. And we generally are like-minded. That's what brought us together. We generally see things at least similarly, even if we don't always agree. And so I would recommend going and finding influencers that might disagree with us. Now, you gotta be really careful about what influencers you listen to. I mean, people come into our chat constantly being like, oh, I heard this from this person. Like, whoa, careful, bro. That sounds like a scam. Or it's like, I'm going to this Telegram chat and it's just like bots and scams. Going to this Telegram chat or going to this YouTube channel. Like, you really have to be careful out there in the space because there are a lot of scams and there are a lot of people that are just trying to dump on your head. So you have to do your due diligence. And like, if you listen to somebody and you're like, okay, these sound good, like, don't just take them for their word. Like, push back a little bit and be like, okay, does this person sound like they're actually trying to help me? Many of them do, by the way. Or do I need to like be a little bit more guarded and just take bits and pieces of information from this stream? So those are kind of some of the things, because there are a lot of pitfalls when navigating this space. And I think, again, it's good just to have a wide range of thoughts, a wide range of opinions. And you get a lot of those here right at the DGen Roundtable. So yeah, go see some other people, but you're going to end up coming back here for that delicious whiskey.
Absolutely. Alrighty. Well, we have someone in the background right now, and he is about to be popped on here. And then we've got some more guests that are going to be popping up as well. Oh, hello. I wonder who Pulse Chain Tour is that appears in the chat.
Appears.
We've got some folks, you say?
Yeah, we got some folks. But by the way, I'm pretty sure Pulse Chain Tour here is SJ. It just appears.
Who
That's what I'm
possibly be.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank.
Hey guys. How's it
Hello,
going?
Huff.
Hey, Frank.
Hello.
What's up, Frank?
It's been a while, brother. How are you?
Good to meet everybody at the except for Mr. Bean at the Pulse Chain conference. It was all good.
Hopefully next time. I just took a new job and unfortunately couldn't get away, and just a tough time. Just got married, moving shortly. Well, in the next few months, and new job. So a lot going on. But
that's awesome. You know what? Don't worry about it. Everything you missed you'll get through osmosis, or you'll get in this session. Like you were meant to not be there. It worked out perfectly. So don't stress. And you already have a lot going on in your life. Getting married, that's a lot in itself. So cut yourself some slack.
Oh, certainly. But I just I want to meet everybody in person at some point. DGen Roundtable Meetup 2025/6.
That is definitely the number one benefit advantage you get to go into the Pulse Chain conference or the Hex conference. Any of the conferences within the ecosystem is just meeting everybody. You get a chance to see how tall people are, see how short people are. It's so funny. You don't see, like, when you're sitting on this little Zoom pedestal, everybody's kind of on equal footing, and then you see each other in person, then you're hugging, you're high-fiving, you're ecstatic about seeing people in person. It's a lot of fun. And the other thing is too, look, we get the knowledge that we get in this ecosystem by watching all the streams and participating in each other's groups and stuff. And I think that's the biggest thing that you get out of going to a conference is meeting people. And I know for the first time when I went to Matty Allen's conference, I met Crypto Coffee, and I'll tell you, it was so cool because it took the celebrity status out of it. Like, once you're there, you're a celebrity. Like, you're already, like, once you go to these conferences, I'm just going to declare this for everybody listening. You're a celebrity. If you go, because you're like, YouTube has a kind of celebrity status here. It puts everybody on equal footing, and then you're all able to just hang out with each other like no big deal. And Crypto Coffee, he was so great when the first time I met him, because I wrote a book on how to find your soulmate, and I was asking him, like, I've done some YouTube stuff. How can I weave this in? And he's like, I told him, I'm like, in 85% of the people who read my book is women. He's like, wow. He goes, it's mostly guys in crypto. That was earth shattering for me, because it helped me understand that I'm not going to go on to stream and stuff and talk about my book. And I mean, I do every once in a while, but I'm not, like, I wanted a way to get into the Pulse Chain community to be able to be a contribution. And it really helped me acknowledge him for saying that. And then I was able to, like, stand back and go, okay, where do I fit in here? So then I just kind of worked my own way to fit in the community that was a contribution, and not trying to put something in the space that really didn't belong there. So I think everybody, would benefit from going to a conference. And they're getting better and better. Maddie's was 600 people. The last year's conference was, I don't know, I'm guessing probably 75 people, smaller room, smaller venue. This year was double. They're making some tweaks. And there's no reason that the entire community can't grow to be something like the Bitcoin conference, where you got 10,000 plus people at some big venue, and there's corporate sponsors, et cetera, lots of people meeting each other. So
just need some green candles for that, Frank. Just need some green candles.
No doubt about that. Man, we need some green candles.
But I just like to say that I think you found your niche. I think what you've done for the crypto space, we've done for Pulse Chain, has been phenomenal. I know that I've been part of some of the things that you're doing, and I've always been super happy to be a part of it, even though I haven't been able to participate as much recently. What you're doing is just bringing great value to the community. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for saying that. And I appreciate all you guys. What you guys bring to the community is amazing. And you're steadfast, you're consistent, you're, have a purpose. Each of you guys has a purpose. It's, consistent. You're on every week, doing your thing. I'm having a glass of wine right now. I'm not having whiskey, but it's, you're engaging, you guys, and you're all smart, and you're all committed to the community and committed to crypto and sharing what you know. That's pretty cool. Thanks.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, having, as your name says, having conversations is fantastic. And one of the things that I learned first by going to New York, and then coming on here, right? Going to Las Vegas, is that there's a definite difference between, meeting like this, behind a camera, and actually physically meeting each other and going out and doing things in real life, together. There's definitely something very special to be said about actually meeting up with people.
Yeah, and there's a shock. There's kind of a subtle shock when you meet someone that you've been talking with for the last 2 years, and you finally meet them in person. You're like, hey, we're just meeting. We're just meeting, but we've been hanging out together on streams for the last 2 years, once a week or whatever, like we already profoundly are related, but now you're in person. So it's almost like it's not a real, it's kind of surreal, so, but nevertheless, hey, Zoom is real. We all know each other for the most part. But yeah, the in-person activity, in-person meeting each other's, high priority.
So Frank, that was your biggest takeaway from the conference. It sounds like to me, just meeting people and having that, time in front of each other. And look, it's great to just bounce ideas off each other. When you're in person, it kind of just goes so quickly. But what else about this conference did you find super valuable? Have you been to conferences before?
Yeah, I go to a lot of conferences, and not just in crypto, real estate. I'm in a spiritual mastermind. So I go to a lot of conferences. I grew up, I did a personal growth and development seminar and back in the 90s. And since then I've done many, it's called landmark education. So I get a lot out of going and being with people and being with leaders. And, yeah. And so, yes, answer that question. Yes. And being in crypto, it's special because everybody's got like something they can add to I mean, even right now, we're all trying to make sense of how the crypto space feels right now. But you definitely feel better when you're around other people who are in the same situation, right? If you're alone and you don't have anybody to talk to about crypto, it's kind of isolated. But when you get in the community and you have people to talk to about it, I think it makes all the difference in the world, because you realize you're not going through this alone, and even the bull market, you're not going through it alone, because you can share the joys of being in a bull market, just like you can share the challenges of being in a bear market. So it's the conversational element that really is something to explore.
I have to ask you a question. You say Landmark?
Yes.
Is that Landmark Forum?
Yep. Yeah.
I have been there. My mom used to take me to those conferences when I was a kid growing up. So I went to a few of those conferences. I started pretty young, like maybe 13.
That's awesome. When you started at that, my son did it when he did the kids forum, the kids forum, probably about that same time, maybe 10 or 11 or 12. And there's just something profound. You get so much from your parents already from having done the work, that they did. And when you do it yourself, there does come a point where you transcend that. And it's a community. I mean, Landmark Education is definitely a community. I used to get tons out of going to their seminars. There's 100 people a week here in Chicago that you could go to and meet and talk to, and say what you're committed to. And next thing you know, what happens. One of the things that I did when I did the Landmark Forum is I committed. Like, I wasn't able to be in a relationship longer than a month. Like, it was like an impossibility for me. And I created the possibility, which is something they call, you do at the Landmark Forum, is you create the possibility of being in a relationship. And I created the possibility of finding my soulmate. And I met her the last day of the leadership course that I did there, and she was just starting it. So I've been with her ever since. So there's a lot to be said for, throwing your hat over the wall and saying you're committed to something, and actually allowing it to happen, or making it happen, or allowing it to come to you. So, and that's just the tip of the iceberg on all kinds of things that I got out of having done the course. So
that's so cool. I think it kind of goes in hand. At least here we talk a lot about sort of the growth mindset. Just if you get rich off crypto, it doesn't mean you're going to A, keep your money, or B, be happy. So there's so much more that goes into growth that is outside of the financial and monetary aspect. You have to grow in every area of your life if you're going to be ready to be happy when you're rich, or if you get rich. It's like you can't. It's like when you go to the gym. If you just do upper body and you got these skinny legs, you're going to look weird, right? It's like you have to work every aspect of your life out, and you have to improve every aspect of your life, or it's not going to go the way that you want it. If one area might go well, you really have to focus on all of that. And I think Landmark is a good avenue for that sort of growth mindset, individual responsibility.
Yeah.
So,
without question.
Real quick, guys, I hate to break this up because this is a really good conversation. We'll definitely get back to it, but we have a couple of people in the green room right now who we've got to bring up. So, Mrs. McGettit, if you could bring up the first person here, we have ourselves a 54 cent. Woo! What's up,
Yo, what is up, guys? How's it going?
Love the hat, brother.
Thanks, man. That's the main reason I went to the conference, was to find one of these hats. It's got the Pulse Hex and Hex on the sides, and Pulse chain on the back. So,
are you going to create your own stable coin 54 cent and make it 54 cents?
Yeah, it's going to be the only stable coin pegged to 54 cents. So it'll be like
nice
0.54 DAI.
Well, you got the community behind you, so you're good.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys know. I'll show it here first.
That's fantastic. And then we also got the Twinksters.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Angry Twinkie, what's up? What's up?
What's up, man?
How's everyone doing tonight?
Doing
great.
all right.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it's great to see you. So we are talking about growth mindset, And this is it's kind of important that you go to these conferences to be able to have kind of that growth mindset, to be able to kind of learn from others. So what's your guys' opinions on that?
54, man. Why don't you lead the way? It's good seeing your brother.
It was great to meet you in person. It was funny going up to a grown man, like, "Yo, what's up, Twinksters?" Because you're a lot taller than you look on camera, dude. Yeah. The main thing for me with these events like this, I've gone to like a couple agriculture events because I'm a farmer for my profession, but I haven't really gone to like crypto. I've gone to like some of the farming stuff goes into financial stuff like that, but really it was the connections you made with people after the 9 to 5 conference. The kind of the networking aspect of it. Probably the best time I had was gambling with Zenith and DCC from like, I don't know, 8 or 9 o'clock on Sunday night till like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning. That was a fantastic time.
Craps, blackjack, what
a lot of craps. DCC likes the roulette. I was having zero luck on the roulette. So I'm like, you do you, man. I'm gonna go play craps because I could actually make some money there.
I don't love roulette, man. Roulette's just not my game. I like things with a little bit more action, a little bit more. I won't say skill, but not just like black, red, and maybe throw a number out there. I like something with a little bit more to it. So craps is a blast. I don't play craps to make money, but I love sitting there playing the pass line. You could play with like $50 and last for a few hours if you just play the pass line. But if you want to get a little bit more intricate, build up those different plays, it's a great game.
Yeah, DCC showed me how to play that game a little bit because I haven't played a whole lot before. And he was like, yeah, keep your money on the pass line, but if you really want to go for it, put some on the world and the horn and, hit your outsides. And yeah, he was really getting into it. It was a lot to take in, especially after a couple drinks.
Yeah, man, it'll take you a few times. I always find the oldest person at the craps table, and then I ask them to teach me. It's like this old guy, I'll be like 70. He's been playing craps for like 50 years. That's when I've learned the most.
Yeah, I went out with them on Saturday night. Myself, Kareem, Abdul. I see Abdul rolling through chat. And Abdul's got fast hands. Let me put it that way. If you know, you know. We could talk about bribes and secrets later. But same thing. I went out Saturday night with DCC, Kareem, Abdul, Zenith, and I went on a monster 42 roll streak at the Palms. I turned around some fortunes for some people at that table that night.
I don't think people realize what that is. 42 rolls, damn, bro, that's sick.
Yeah. So for anyone who's like rolling through Vegas, I guess out the spot, they got a new table. It's like a hybrid digital analog table. $5 minimum bet. It does fractional payouts. So like typically when you bet on a 6 or 8, you want to bet in intervals of 6. Well, you don't have to. It'll automatically handle the payout for you. But the table itself, instead of it being a felt, it's actually a screen. And it animates where all the bets go. And as you hit different hot streaks, the actual table changes color and it has like flames around it on the screen. It's pretty entertaining. So that was actually really, really awesome because, it was looking grim there for myself and Z. And then all of a sudden it came together as things are wont to do. But yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, as far as the growth mindset, absolutely, Nate. I think you're absolutely on the money. Get out to some of these conferences, meet and greets too, right? Even if it's not a major tour like PLS369 or the like, go to some of these different Hex meetups, go to some of these different streamer meetups or whatever community you're potentially participating in. Get out there, do some meet and greets. Like, when else am I going to have the opportunity to see Nate face to face or Mrs. Magetta or 54? Z, shout out to Will. I'm going to forget a bunch of people I had the opportunity to either see face to face again or for the first time. A lot of conversations about crypto life, different walks of life. It was great. There were folks visiting from out of country, just making the effort to get out there and swap some ideas and stories, networking. Certainly I leveled up my knowledge of the Pulse chain ecosystem. A lot of the projects there was good to see some of the returners. Other ones I had maybe heard in passing or things that were in their infancy last year are now full-blown, full-swing projects on it. And yeah, absolutely had a great time. Yes.
But yeah.
Nate, you're muted.
My bad. But yeah, no. So one of the most important things I think about meetups, right? And this is how I felt back in New York, and I felt the exact same thing in Las Vegas, is it's so cool to be able to put a face to the there we go, a face to the thumbnail, right? So if anybody only ever knows me by this thumbnail, you're kind of like, yeah, you know, you got a personality and everything, and it's fun to chat in the live chats, all that, right? However, it's not until, you know, you actually meet somebody and then you go out and you have drinks, right? Or you go have a dinner together or something like that, and you start really getting to know people. That right there is part of strengthening the community. Because if you're just a bunch of degens on the internet, right, talking to each other back and forth, ultimately what's going to happen is as soon as the red candles come in, well, you might start eating each other because you don't really have that much of a loyalty because you haven't actually met the person face to face. You know, you haven't actually bought this person a beer, right? Bought this person a steak. Yeah. So
broken
it's
bread.
one of the things. Yeah.
The
It's only
gigantic
on red.
steak that Will talked about, the 72-ounce steak for the entire DGen roundtable.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's like, who's going to buy that steak for the whole round table here?
Let's give us some green candles.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to that. And I think we definitely, as we said earlier, we'll definitely get that a little bit later in the year, I would say. But man, we're really behind right now. But I guess it's something that has to happen, though.
Yeah, but people talked about an extended cycle too. You know, so however that works, I don't know how all that works, but I'm not, you know, like digging deep in the charts for that. But I'm sure many people can talk about the extended cycle. Ian Bellina with Token Metrics talked about it 2 years ago, and there's a video on it, how it could extend into 2026. You know, I don't remember what month it went. I know it went past March roughly. So, you know, it is what it is. We all want it to happen now, and we all want it to happen like we expect it to happen. And guess what? Earth-shattering moments, it's not happening that way. So all you can do is protect your own bags, don't flood your own bags, and do what you can that you think is going to maximize your returns when this cycle's over. Or, I mean, there's people saying that it's over, and I don't believe that, but I'm just like, nah, I don't think it's over. But you know, if you get your mindset into, wow, this could be another 4 years, it certainly takes away the attachedness. What's the word I'm looking for? That you have to your portfolio doing what you want it to do.
Yeah, getting too attached to your portfolio.
Yep.
Yeah. Look, I think it's a good point because, you know, I had a friend literally text me yesterday, like the sky's falling. He's like, I've lost so much money in the last 2 weeks. Like I'm down. Like it would take me years to make this money back. And I'm like, yeah, bro, I've been there. But you know, what's your time horizon? For me, it's like, okay, if I have to wait another 4 years, I have to wait another 4 years. Okay, I won't touch that money. You know, like I have a plan and I don't want a round trip again, right? Like not expecting to do that. But worst case scenario, I round trip for 4 years, right? Like I'm okay holding, and I'm okay with maybe I switch some bags around and I move some coins here and there. But I'm generally happy with my investments and where I'm at. And I also am still very bullish on this cycle. And we also talked about a potential extended cycle on our third ever episode. It was the first time that we talked about the potential for a perfect storm theory in this crypto cycle. A lot of those things have actually come to fruition, many of which I think we were maybe the first to talk about. And we'll see how that perfect storm theory plays out, because a lot of the things have come to fruition, but it hasn't really fully meant green candles. But it could mean an extended cycle and still that blow off top, which is really what we mean by a perfect storm. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, people need to have the proper expectations and, you know, look for a long time horizon, not a get rich quick scheme. And I was having a conversation with my wife who knows a bit about crypto, and she's like, you know, all I ever hear in the mainstream media, which she doesn't really listen to a lot of news, but is like, you know, all people like Dave Portnoy and like all these people just like trying to make quick money on a pump fund coin, you know, on Solana. And she's like, I know that's not what crypto is, but it doesn't really give crypto and what it's supposed to be a good name. And I'm like, yes, that's a good point. But people also don't want to do the research, and people don't want to take the time to build something for 4, 8, 10 years from now. I mean, we're not looking for 6 months. I know everybody here that I'm talking to, at least on this panel, and probably a lot of people watching us. We have a longer time horizon. Yes, do we want green candles now? Of course, but we're okay changing our perception or changing our opinion if the market dictates that, and that will change how we play.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you're talking about how your friend is looking at his portfolio going, oh my God, it's going to take me years to make this up again. The only thing that was going through my head is, yeah, but it's only going to take like a month or two for it to be realized again, probably even higher.
Right.
Yay for crypto, right?
Yeah. That's very true. Yeah.
All righty. So out of the Pulse Chain conference, and being this one doesn't really apply to you, but what was your favorite panel?
The onboarding panel, since that was the one I was surprise summoned to speak on out of the blue. So, let's say highlighting myself, Nate, and some other folks, aside for some of the panels that some of my friends were on, I appreciated some of the panels Axis sat in on, talking about like being your own bank. There were a number of other presentations by assorted projects. I'm not sure to what extent all the information in that conference is like publicly available versus like early alpha on that conference. So I'm going to refrain from naming some specifics because I haven't had the chance to like skim through Twitter to see like, hey, is this known yet? Or, maybe I should hold this one back to give some people some opportunities. But Project Pi, Actuator, PTGC, right? It's a lot of great projects. For me, actually, one of the highlights was getting a chance to speak with somebody whose posts I have been reading, who is not a streamer, S-Load Minimalist. I've come across some of his different Twitter posts and some other groups I'm in, and had the opportunity to actually have dinner with him face to face, and just getting to know his background. I don't want to say too much and, leave too many clues on the internet, but that was a real delight, being able to have that conversation about a variety of topics. I appreciated that it was very comprehensive, obviously Pulse Chain focus. There was a lot of good discussions, I think, about security too, different wallet solutions, hot wallets, cold wallets. Yeah, SJ, sure. Like I was saying on that other stream, yeah, just let me know when you want to run it back. Yeah, a lot of good conversations about wallets, being careful about what you are approving by way of signature. It's real easy to sit there and get in the habit of doing something and like, signing it. But we've seen just like, especially recently, right, with that was a $1.5 billion ETH attack. The level of sophistication is getting higher and higher, and things are slipping through. So you can't really afford to do things too much by way of habit. You need to do things with a high level of intent. But yeah, a lot of great discussions and a lot of interesting things on the panel. What about yourself, 54, man? Anything particularly jump out at you over at that conference? Any particularly standout memories?
The things I can remember were pretty good, but the ones that really spoke to me, we were talking a minute ago about like the long-term mindset of a lot of people in this community that I think a lot of other communities don't have, was the DeFi wealth trust stuff. Whereas like, let's set up a trust so like in the next couple of years, you could cut back on your taxes. You can use that for investment property. So that's really what I think. I can't remember who says it in the intro. I should know this, but someone's like, financial freedom, this passive income of maybe not as passive as you'd like it to be. I mean, always wealth has to be managed. But really the people that are like, these are like centralized finance people, they're real estate investors. They're like, hey, these crypto guys need a way to start moving their money around so they could actually be able to invest it and not get wrecked in taxes. That and the Pi cycle guys. Where you could stake your pulse, get the ST pulse, I think it's called, and pretty much run validators without having to run validators. So
those dudes are really smart.
Yeah, the one AI thing, I'm not gonna say anything about it because I think they said it wasn't released anything yet. But the one AI thing they're showing us on the panel was very interesting, with like how you could just basically tell a computer like, hey, this is my intentions, and the computer just takes care of all the background stuff. That was really cool to see. That was probably my favorite part there.
Wait, who did that?
That was Project Pi.
Yeah, Project Pi.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, that was. I want to say it was Van that was given that one.
Okay.
Yeah, Project Pi, they have an AI agent that basically you just kind of tell it what your goals are, and it'll just automatically go and do it for you. Really.
Well, they're really ahead of the pack because
Yeah.
I've been wondering that ever since AI had its run, 2 or 3 months ago. I'm like, where's the AI on Pulse Chain? There you have it. That's part of it. So.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Genny actually was the AI on Pulse Chain for a while, but they kind of like a Tang Gang. They went a different direction. All right. So yeah, Frank, what was your favorite panel?
I would say, gosh, that's a good question. I don't know about panel, but I would say that the DeFi Wealth Trust was probably the best thing too, because it's the thing that I can easily relate to. I sell real estate in Chicago, so I can identify with, taking money out of crypto and going buying an investment property without taxes. I mean, I think it really opened some. I was texting a few people that I'm in business with. Hey, you should try this, because let's face it, the last cycle there were a lot of people getting into wanting to buy real estate using crypto, and it was a big question mark. How do you do this? And it's doable, but I think this cycle will be even more. And if you have the trust where you don't have to pay taxes on it, and you want to buy, a couple $1 million property or whatever it is, that's, $600,000 that you're not paying taxes on. You go right into your prime property, because that's where a lot of the people were doing was high-end properties. It wasn't a $200,000 condo. It was high-end properties. So that's a big tax savings, and it's a big deal, especially if you live in the house for 30 years or whatever, until you're retired. You've deferred taxes for 30 years. So, and you can do a lot more with the money. You can do a lot more with that $600,000, if you're not paying taxes on it, or that $2 million that you're not paying taxes on, that $600,000 that you deferred. I mean, what can you do with that? You can keep it in crypto. You can, use it to make more money.
So for the folks at home, what Frank's talking about, big shout out, by the way. Yeah, good. That's an excellent panel choice, by the way, Frank. For the folks at home who aren't aware of this, this is Corey and Dane's stuff that they normally do over on their show. The DeFi, I want to say it's DeFi Trust with Corey and Dane, something like that. But they came up to the stage with great fucking energy, which is the thing that I noticed the most. That was what I was gonna say about the favorite panel, Frank. So good selection there. For the folks at home who aren't familiar with this or haven't heard of it before, the basic gist of it, Frank covered pretty much all of it. But it's like, if you have a whole bunch of money in an asset and you want to use that money to do a thing that makes more money that does not bring you personal financial gain. So like, you can't go buy your Lambo, you can't go buy purses, you can't go buy groceries. You have to, like, one investment into another investment. Then you do this wealth trust system that is I believe that the name of their protocol or their project is the DeFi Wealth Trust. And
yes.
And I think that Chris was the gentleman who spearheaded it. And then they also had Carl up there. I can't remember Carl's last name for the life of me, but it was Chris, it was Carl, and it was Corey. And those three gentlemen gave a fantastic presentation. I want to say it was either the end of day one or like the beginning of day two or something along those lines. But that's definitely like the theory, the goal of us being cryptocurrencies. We're here to like maximize our gains, maximize our investments, take 20 grand, turn it into 500 grand, which is the minimum amount that like you need to use their little system, their little trust. And you can save a shit ton of taxes, and you only get taxed when you actually want to take your money out of the trust and use it for like personal life stuff, So like I said earlier, buying groceries, buying your Lamborghini, buying your whatever. But if you want to take your money and use it to make more money, so like go from crypto into buying a business, go from a business into buying real estate, go from real estate into buying, I don't know, fucking stocks, bonds, 401ks, gold, you name it, some sort of investment vehicle, then then you can do that. And I'm pretty sure that was their caveat is the trust can't be used for personal gain. So like if you need to take a loan against your assets and take it out of the trust, then that's the point when it gets taxed. But it's only taxed for the amount that you're taking out, and that's taxed under like normal regulation and everything. And they've been doing this, I want to say, since like for the last 29 years, or no, not 29 years. It's been audited 29 times, and they've been doing it since I want to say 1996, or that's how long the tax code has been out for this to be a thing. Am I getting everything right here? I also see we've got some other folks joining us up. I can't quite see who it is.
We do. So, Will, you are correct. It's why I myself am extremely interested in it. My favorite panel, I think, might have been that one as well, because Corey came on and he was literally yelling at everybody, "Get energized, bro," which was very cool. I actually asked him about how he did that. I guess he's it's not his first rodeo.
No, and he has said, and don't quote me on this, I'm pretty sure he said this. If he had known about this prior to moving to Puerto Rico, he would have probably not moved to Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
so
he
can all learn from Corey Geary's mistakes, right, Corey? I hope he's watching.
Alrighty, well, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce here Farmer Jay and Fast Abdul. Welcome to the panel, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and ask you the same question, which is, what was your favorite panel at the conference?
Well, first of all, is my mic working? I had to dust it off earlier.
Yeah.
Okay. It hadn't been used in a while. My favorite panel, it's probably going to be, I'm going to say some of the side panels we might have had on the side. Like me and Twinkie were having a conversation during the conference. Gave me some nice websites on Sonic. Appreciate those. Thank you. Been putting them to use since I got back. But I can't say I had a favorite panel. I kind of just for the panels that I was there for, I enjoyed listening to them and just hearing what people had to say. And I like seeing the updates on some of the projects that I was already aware of. That was nice. But for the most part, it was just nice to see everybody, you know. Like it was Mr. Fast Abdul caught me slipping and took a selfie with me.
Yeah. Hey, Farmer.
Hey, how's it going, Fast?
Good. I'm still recovering from Vegas, but I'm almost back to normal.
You're not fast enough, man.
I got to give Abdul a ton of credit. Sunglasses were the move on stage. So I was in one of the leftmost chairs, and that light was outrageous. But like I was telling DCC, thankfully I'm half Asian. I see in widescreen, just generally kind of squinty to begin with. So I was able to find a way to make it work.
I'm not going to touch that one, Twinkie. But thanks. Yeah, sunglasses were great on screen with the bright lights. On the stage, rather.
Yeah, it does kind of suck that we didn't quite have the correct type of lights, and so our DJ guy, he set up his DJ lights as the main like what do you call those, the spotlights, like main spotlights, and then he just shot them right. Basically, it was eye level. So yeah, when you were on that stage, you were getting blinded by those lights, which I think after the first day, there's a lot of technical difficulties on the first day, and we kind of got it together in the second day. It's like, okay, we don't want the spotlights now. We'll just do it this way instead. We were able to fix up our audio, but the Wi-Fi was just dead at that point. So it's like whatever, I guess. But no, Fast. What was your favorite panel, bro?
Well, about the lights, though it did make it difficult for me to imagine the people in the audience naked, it wasn't really a problem. I think it looked okay for the camera and the audience to have those lights.
You had sunglasses on.
Exactly. Worked for me.
When you do stand-up comedy, most of the guys are on a stage where they can't see the audience. So you just got to know your bit, your script, whatever, all your jokes, and just talk and just read this audience via sound. So, you guys are whoever was on the panels, whoever was on stage, you're already in the big time. So embrace it. Embrace not being able to see your audience.
Just like YouTube.
Yeah, actually, that's quite a bit. I mean, actually, it is kind of interesting because on YouTube, you've got the live panel, or the live panels, the live chat that you're able to connect with, right? But like I was saying earlier in this stream, for the most part, it's just a bunch of JPEGs, right? So yeah, it is nice to be able to get out and actually meet people.
Yeah, for sure. As far as the panels go, my favorite one was that one in the big room with all the free drinks. I like that one.
That was fun.
Good answer.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
great to actually
was
just be able to meet people face to face and talk to them one-on-one, right? You know, and obviously it was good to meet the other influencers and such that you know, I actually talk to quite often, like face to face, kinda on camera. But it was good to meet other people that I've never met who aren't influencers, you know, who actually watch us for whatever reason. You know, there's a lot of value there in actually meeting the real audience. You guys don't count.
I think
So
one of the funniest things I on Sunday night Sunday night, one of the funniest things, I was walking and go to dinner, and I saw Fast and Hex Vision and what
Yellow Cake.
Yeah, Yellow Cake. In fact, Fast was ready to go home and take a nap. So
yeah,
that was the funny. Just like that, pretty much summed it up. The funny thing is not only are we all hanging out with the seminars, you know, with the 2 days of seminars, but we're pretty much nonstop hanging out with everybody. So I mean, when I hit the ground running, you know, Thursday afternoon, I didn't stop till Sunday night. So there's an element of just being worn out. You know, I was playing golf at the Atomic Golf at midnight, 2 a.m. my time, and I played pretty much a round of golf at that time just by hitting the balls. So it's like, and then you don't even realize that you're just enjoying everybody's company. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yep, definitely worthwhile to do these things. I think, you know, we need to have something like that at least once a year for the community. It makes it feel so much more real than, you know, just seeing it on the screen. And respect out to the team that put it on, RG3 and Kalen and SJ. Influencers are all crazy people. Like, that must have been like herding cats to get us all together like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a little bit. Yeah, it was a lot of work, bro. Like, I ain't even gonna lie.
Yeah, you do DJing guys too. You guys really pulled it together to make sure the buttons worked and stuff.
As much as possible, man. Like, so for those who don't know, the DJ Roundtable and Discord Syndicate kind of, you know, combined forces to be able to try and put this on and make it the best possible. And like when I arrived, I think you and I will, we arrived in Wednesday, and it was all Wednesday and then into all of Thursday just to get it set up. And when you guys noticed noticed everything going on was Thursday night, and that was the introduction meal and open bar, which was fantastic, by the way. But there was
one
like
of the open bars.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of them actually. That was really cool. I love that. But yeah, there was a day and a half of just nothing but setup before that we even got to that point. So yeah, it was a hell of a lot of work. And I'll tell you what, this is the first. I think this is the first year that the PLS369 conference was doing like a large multi-day conference type of deal. So because the first time, it was the first, right? Correct me if I'm wrong on that one.
I can't remember whether last year was just 1 day or whether it was 2 days.
Yeah, because I know they did Las Vegas like last year as well, but I think it was like only 1 day, so it was a lot smaller. Well, whatever. There was a lot of good feedback that came in, but I know for certain that next year we'll definitely be upping the quality for sure. You know, there were some mistakes made, Wi-Fi, that that will not be made again.
Well, so like. But like, what's cool about all the mistakes that you guys didn't even see, like as participants and as audience members, is like we're over like I'm collecting all these microphones up. Like, fuck, the volume's low on this one. This one's turned off and out of battery. Like, these cords are getting unplugged. Like, nobody really notices all the small things going wrong on the ship while the ship is still floating out at sea. You know, so it's like it just blows my mind how many things can go wrong, and yet everyone's still like, wow, what a fantastic, awesome time. And it's like, meanwhile, me and Nate are over here panicking like, fuck, the lights aren't right, the sound's wrong, this guy's not mic'd up, I don't know who's coming up next, where the hell are these influencers at that are supposed to be like on the next panel and shit. And it's just like all these behind the scenes things. So like it was super cool just to see this crazy machine in motion stay effective and stay like
Hey, Will.
What's up?
I was gonna say I noticed, I was paying attention. You guys were running around trying to make sure everything went by smoothly. Yeah. No, like shout out to you guys. You know, I miss McGettit as well. You guys were all doing, like you said, the work behind the cameras, but you guys just were running around back and forward trying to keep running smoothly. Yeah.
It was an excellent time. I will say that. I'm like, oh, and a big shout out, by the way, to Tyson and to Tim. Those guys on the and shoot, there was one more, Matt, I believe. Tim, Tyson, and Matt on the soundboard. Man, like those guys, unsung heroes, setting up all the lights, setting up, like plugging everything, making sure it works. Like, you know, those are some fantastic gentlemen as well. So I don't know if you guys are watching right now, but if you are, like, big thanks to you. Kind of went off on a tangent there. Rein us back in, Nate, or Cass or someone.
Perfect. What you just said.
I guess Bill was the third one, not Matt.
Oh, Bill. Yes, Bill. Good point. Frank, it sounded like you had something.
About it.
No, what you said was perfect, Will.
Yeah. And then so we're actually starting to get a little bit of a pile up over here in the chat. So I think I'm gonna go do a round of chat shout outs real quick before we round back off to kind of our experiences. Maybe when the conference was not technically going on and we got grouped up together and went and did fun little things. Perhaps we'll maybe talk about some of those experiences. But first, we got to do the I'm gonna let Will take this one because he's got his whole thing going on right now. He's got a thingy because
I've got a marker and I'm writing the word chat.
Okay.
Bam, and then I'm steering my car back onto the road. And then I'm gonna write shout outs. Woo!
Yeah, don't you die on
You know what?
Will.
I'm just gonna write the word shout. There we go. It's time for chat shout, baby. Let's fucking do it. We do it live. We do it while we're driving. We do it while we're dangerous. Take it away, Nate. I'm going on mute.
I love it. Yeah. No, he usually has like his whole like board thing, but he doesn't have that right now because he is driving. So yeah. All right. So first up, we have Russ with hi, ladies and gentlemen. Hi, Russ. What is up? What is up? And then after that, we have Pulse Chain Tour appears. I wonder who that could be. And then, of course, is oops. Hello. Good day to you all.
I do that with my Red Squirrel account all the time. It's easy to make a mistake.
Oi, oi.
Exactly.
And then Bright Light, very nice panel. And you know what? I think you guys are very nice, and I'm so glad that you're here with us today. Thank you very much for coming.
I find it a little offensive that they're talking about our panels, but you know, hey.
And then we got
nice panels.
Functional Crypto. I think it's functional. Yeah, Functional Crypto. Evening, fellas. Evening, Functional. Are you actually functional? I don't know. Some people would probably argue that at this point.
Depends on how many whiskeys they've had.
That is true. That is true. And then we have this random guy over here. I think he's a really fast camel trader. He says there was a conference. Why wasn't I invited?
Indeed.
But I was halfway disappointed when I walked in and I didn't see Fast Abdul on a camel inside the conference.
I gotta let me bring the camel in. The casino, too many rules. We need a new place next year.
Here's a great question.
The desert.
Mexico.
Fast, what did you learn being at the conference that blew your mind about crypto in general?
I learned I can no longer drink 17 rum and cokes in one sitting. About crypto, probably the biggest thing was just learning that there's such a strong community for Pulse Chain who's actually willing to show up. I honestly didn't think there'd be that big of a turnout. It was and that people were all happy to be there, right? Like, it was totally preaching to the choir. It was a very pleasant audience. And I think it was a win overall.
Yeah, there was a lot of people who were very happy to be there. Everyone was just very high spirits.
Yeah.
Before we get, I know we gotta get back to the chat shoutouts fast, but how big was the price for a tariff to get over to Vegas for you?
Yeah, there was no there's no price on moving actual Canadians, only our goods. So yeah, there's no fees.
So you only had to pay for your clothing and your bags.
There was no camel fees at the border.
Yeah, no, they did ask me if I was bringing any commercial goods to sell. So I confirmed that I wasn't, and I was able to get through.
Were you selling suits on the side? Because for those who were at the conference, Fast Abdul brought a number of looks and colors to that conference. Best dressed person in the room for sure.
100%.
Not every day, but thank you.
He legitimately, okay, so my favorite suit of yours was literally the introduction day. Like I remember you arriving with a really nice looking white suit, but as soon as that introduction party happened, you go running around with that freaking purple suit of yours with that really crappy T-shirt with your little camel trader guy just printed on it.
Yeah, that's my Joker suit. It's a crowd favorite.
That was fun. Love that one a lot. Alrighty, so next we got Frank White, who is Bang Bang DGen Gang. Bang Bang Frank White, what is up? And then of course Kay Hudson, which I met him very briefly, and he's really awesome guy. Love you very much. He says, I was glad to meet the DGens in Vegas, and we were glad to meet you for sure, for sure. And then of course we got Johnny Chaos popping in, talking about recency bias and consistency bias, which I believe that was with a conversation we were having earlier about how the market basically is just feeling bad right now, ultimately. And then, we finally got it. A Wild SJ appears. It is the positivity princess herself. She has appeared. I love you, SJ. Thank you very much for appearing on our show. Alrighty. Next, we got Conspiracy Crypto. What's up, fam? What's up, Ramon? Really glad to see you here watching us. Love you very much. And then
he really looks like that in person too.
Yeah, he's really cool. He's got that really cool beard. And then we got Luna C Point. Hey gang, with a heart on it. Heart to you. And then we got Moon Mutt. Moon Mutt, my man. A lot of fine DGens at the round table tonight. There's a lot of fine DGens indeed, including you. You're a fine DGen. And then we got Brissology. Let's go. And special shout out to Brissology for helping me, literally arriving at the conference. And immediately I'm like, hey, can you help me move something real quick? And it was that the entire background for the stage. It was that. So Briss helped me shimmy that thing into the main stage area. So thank you very much, Briss. I mean, he literally like just arrived as far as I was concerned. But yeah, thanks a lot, man. You are awesome.
Hey, Nate. I'm just gonna say goodbye to everybody. I'm gonna pop off since I was not at the conference. I want to let you guys finish talking about said conference, and I don't want to take up screen time from you. So, Twinkie, Will, Frank, Farmer, Fast.
Hey, Bean, we're gonna see you at the next one, right?
Bro, I'm hoping to be the one that's helping to. By the way, I don't think you guys know this, but I used to help. I used to book and promote shows back in the day. I used to throw events. So I've thrown a lot of events in my life. So I'd like to throw a crypto event someday. DGen Roundtable event got to happen at some point. So I really want to meet, and that's what I was saying, Farmer, before he came on. Like, I just got a new job,
No,
just got married,
I was
moving
listening the whole
soon,
time.
and so the only bummer was not getting to see it all in person. But one of these days it'll definitely happen.
I know that happens. I remember when Charlie and McGill had their first crypto mindset meetup, and I missed it. And I just kept hearing these guys about the time they had. I said, I'm not missing another event. So, hopefully, we really want to see you on the next one.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. And if I'm there, we're drinking.
I'm drinking regardless.
Likewise.
It's been excellent having you, Brendan. We'll see you later, amigo.
See you all
Hey, see you, Bean.
Peace.
Night, Brendan.
All right.
Alrighty, guys.
Hey, we still got some more chats to do.
We do?
Or is that all of them? Did we?
No, that's all of them.
Did we? I don't know. I'm asking.
We did. We got through.
Oh fuck! Wow! Look at that. All right. Well, Mr. Hostman, take us. Ooh. We do.
Asked Abdul liked SJ sparkly pants, and I gotta agree. Those
They
were
did.
awesome.
They were impressive pants.
They were very impressive.
Yes.
They were pulse chain colored too. I'm like, wow, how did you find those?
Alrighty.
Very well
Abdul,
dressed.
don't look now, but
Go
you
ahead,
got
Nate.
someone behind you.
Uh-oh. All right. So yeah, moving on to the question. I'm having a mind blank. Could someone remind me of what the question was that I was asking before?
Why do they call you the Ascending Man?
Oh, because I'm trying to get a better brain, and so I'm learning as much as I can. Sometimes I end up forgetting about things though, and then it's like, oh yay, woohoo, this is great.
I know we were talking about favorite panels and the like, your favorite speakers, favorite events. I know.
Oh yeah, side
you
panels
know,
is what I was.
Yeah. So we had some chats on that. But one of the things before I forget the notion here was when I was talking about onboarding, just kind of looking around the room, it was a pretty high density of people who stream in Pulse Chain, like on a per capita basis. Quick informal estimate as I just like kind of scanning the room. I'm like, oh, streams. You know, everyone on stage streams. It was minimally, like I'd probably say pretty quickly recognized at least 20% of the room streams in some way, shape, or form. And that's just for channels I'm familiar with. I'm sure there are folks on that like out there that I haven't yet crossed paths with. So really strong streaming community, very vocal, let's say social media community, which is great for the chain on that one and certainly onboarding individuals in the future. But anyway, yeah, so that's one of the things that really stuck out at me this year as far as just doing the meet and greets and the like. But I know we had a whole bunch of side panels and side conferences and side conversations. And like, and I'm just watching Abdul change his camera background, his image here. But yeah, it was a great time. A lot of conversations to be had, a lot of things to be learned.
Hey,
Yeah,
at
for sure,
least if we don't make it in crypto, we've got the streaming community to, you know, we could have, you know, we could charge for helping people become better streamers.
Oh no, I don't know about that. I'm just gonna go back into my diver dumpster days. If it doesn't work out, I'm just going dumpster diving.
Well, you got to dumpster dive and able to get that extra money to be able to go to these things, right?
It's true.
Got to get your beer money, bro. Yeah. So when we do go to these conferences, one of the big things that is always happening is there's always some kind of like side party or like just dinners, things like that. Go out and have fun. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this over at Frank right away. What is your favorite sort of dinner or side thing that you ended up doing not at the conference, but during the conference?
During the conference, because I'm thinking this through. So first day I met Fast and Randy and them. And then there was the evening dinner party. You know, I would say probably the dinner party on Thursday night. I thought that was pretty good. And then the atomic golf. You know, I thought that was pretty good. And I have to say, Friday night was cool before the atomic golf because I wouldn't have gone to the atomic golf if Matty Allen hadn't said, "You're going." I'm like, all right, fine, I'm going. Like there was about 5 of us that hung out and had dinner together. And which I like the smaller groups because you can talk to each other. You know, when you get too many people, you want to talk to everybody and you almost end up disappointed because you only talk to 2 or 3 people and they were either on your left or your right across the front, right in front of you across the table. So I'd say the more intimate one with Maddie and Prairie Banana and who else? A couple other people. I can't remember their names, but that was a really fun thing. And, you know, there's something to be said for accountability because if I had it up to myself, I would have went back to my hotel room and gone to sleep because I was still tired from coming in from Chicago. But he's like, "You're going." I'm like, all right, fine, I'll go, you know, and here I ended up staying out till 2 a.m, you know, so that was cool. And then, you know, the golf outing was a lot of fun too. just hanging out with everybody. Two of the people in my party in the golf thing didn't show up, and it was just Crypto Compassion and myself. And we were, for the first 10 or 11 holes, just hanging out among ourselves and bumping into, everybody that sponsored a hole, like Fast sponsored a hole, Randy sponsored a hole, Liquid Loans sponsored a hole, and Actuator sponsored a hole, which I won a copper cup, like a really expensive copper cup, just for
you got the mug. Nice.
in the hole. Yep. That was pretty cool. And I would say bumping into X-Ray Vision and RJ and Chad and one more, if I can remember, I will. That was fun because we ended up playing the last 5 or 6 holes with them, and it just made it so much more fun. So, we were missing 2 of our foursomes, so we had a 6-some, and we had a good time. So, in a nutshell, that was it, Nate.
Yeah, I ended up getting a really bad burn. Sitting out there. It was really funny. So, I was just watching one of the holes. I was actually me and Mrs. McGettit were sitting out at the sponsored for the Discourse Syndicate hole, right? And at this hole, there's literally like a little hill up, like hit this, right? And so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go up there and I'm just gonna set my chair up there. Well, across the way over the greens, that was the long, I think it was the challenge for like the longest hole or whatever. Across the way over there was another little hill that went up like this, and that's where Triplet Dad he went up and set himself up there underneath the tree. And so him and I are like that meme, hey, what's your name? That meme. It was basically us just all the way across. Apparently he took a picture of me, by the way, and put it up on X, so that was hilarious as hell. Good times there. But yeah, so how about you, 54 Cent? What was your favorite excursion?
I mean, it was definitely the golf. The golf was by far the most fun part because, I mean, going to a conference and learning about stuff, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're learning about crypto or agriculture or real estate. I mean, you're sitting in a room watching people talk in front of you. So it's like you're still just like, it's like the classroom environment, which I did not do good in school. So that's like, I have to force myself to pay attention to that kind of stuff. But when you get to go out and about, walk around on, out in the nature of Las Vegas on a golf course and go hit balls and mess around with your buddies and stuff, that's a pretty good time. But that was probably my favorite part. Sunday was a pretty good day. And then Saturday night was great. We went out to dinner. Yeah, I'd say the golf had to be the best part because you're just out and about, meeting everybody at all the different holes that everyone's sponsored, and just having a good time.
Yeah, and what was interesting, 54 Cent, was what it took to win the tournament, and it was like an amazing score. It was like 15 under par, something like that.
Who won?
Ridiculous. I think it was a couple people who came in from outside of the community that the people brought in on purpose in order to introduce them to, Pulse Chain.
They brought them to win that prize, bastards.
Yeah,
ringers.
Yeah,
10 grand now.
Hollywood it is.
So in 2 months ago would have been 30 grand. So
it's still enough to cover the trip.
It's awesome. I mean, it's amazing. And they won a multitude of scores, like the longest drive, and like Fast said that too. He goes, they were noticeably, I think it was Fast that said that they were noticeably really good. So, because you sit there and you watch every hole, people teeing off and stuff. And I will say this, I'm a 17 handicap. Our score was like an 80 or an 82, and you're gonna play whatever your handicap is. You're not gonna miraculously end up shooting a 70 when you typically shoot an 80. It's just not gonna happen. So if you get paired up with some really good golfers, you might have a chance at winning it. But in the longest putt, everybody was pretty much at, that was an easy way. that was the best way. Everybody was on the same ground that could win something while you were there. Anyway, carry on. 54.
That was most of my point on that. I had a couple different things with the rest of the conference going on. Twinkie mentioned it before, that like how many streamers there are in the Pulse chain and like Richard Hart ecosystem. Can't remember if RG said this or who said it, but it was mentioned during the all woman panel for crypto, and it was like there's all these different streamers, and it's like because there's a million different types of people out in the world, and there's a streamer almost for everybody in Pulse chain, where it's like if you like, you know, crude humor, you go towards some people. If you like just pure business, you go to some people. So that was really great to see, where there's somebody for everybody. Doesn't matter what kind of like personality you have, there's a streamer for you in Pulse chain that will get you on board into there. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got about the conference, though. It was cool meeting Charlie. It's cool meeting a lot of people, shaking hands. That was Thursday night, I think, was just the meetup. I flew into Vegas that day after working that day, and it wasn't a very long flight for me, so it wasn't that inconvenient or anything. But I got to shake Cultivate Crypto's hand, and like a lot of us from the a lot of you guys from the DRT and Twinkie and stuff, Farmer as well, I think, you know, all like CMC alumni. So going and talking to him and hearing all this bearish sentiment in the market, I was talking to him and we were sitting there like we were 2 feet from the open bar. So we were visiting it pretty often. But
like I said, side conferences, right? Those side conferences.
Dude, the little circle table where only like 6 people could circle around it and just like talk some shit. How bullish he still was, and like how he's been like a huge mentor to me, and like him and DC like getting into crypto and like you know, being in this high volatile, you know, risk asset class of stuff. He was like, bro, we're hard chilling. We're doing just fine. Everything's going according to plan. Like it might suck right now, but he wasn't like, hey guys, we should sell it all and just dump it on these people. It's like, nah, dude, he was still feeling good about the whole market. So that gave me a lot of confidence and everything. So
that's good that he gives you confidence. I know
it's hard sometimes, man.
Yeah, especially like right now with everything dumping, including like stock market and all that.
Yeah.
So Twinkie, I'm going to hand it over to you. What was your favorite excursion?
Yeah, so I'll get to that in 1 second, but I believe it was 5 years ago today was the COVID crash where BTC lost like 40-50+% value, like that. So, or at least price wise. So just to put some things in perspective, fast forward several years later, I recognize not all of us were necessarily in the space at that moment in time, but you know, for a number of us, we've kind of seen some of the sentiments like, yeah, okay. So I'm not feeling bearish. I'm aware of certain possibilities, but I'm not feeling bearish at this point in time. I will protect the innocent and not name any names. Let me put it this way. So all the really hilarious stuff probably happened, you know, after 2 a.m. or like, you know, I heard stories of like stolen trucks, 2 a.m. Tinder dates that forgot their IDs trying to get into the club and all sorts of madness. If you know, you know. I ain't going to name names, but you know, we had a grand old time. Certainly some side conferences, like, you know, actually ended up having the opportunity to have dinner with Abdul and some other folks on that Saturday night. That was a delight just to sit around, swap some stories on that front. And of course, that 42 roll hot streak over at the Palms definitely made sure everyone at that table got paid that night. You know, it's a little extra DCA money for the weeks ahead. So yeah, that was awesome. Actually, I had a really great extended chat with Max, RH Max, both at Atomic Golf, and a lot of conversations around the coffee serving station. Certainly, I was making heavy use of that simply because, well, yeah, we were definitely dragging a bit, you know, throughout the conference, but a lot of 6:30 a.m. mornings, you know, like just getting in the door. Wow. So yeah, I can't do too many of those anymore, but it was fun. So yeah, I had a great time talking about just all sorts of stuff and really just getting to know people aside from the crypto side of things, like just getting to know people. What are you into? What are you about? What is your life like? Like, you know, I know what I do up here in the Northeast, but, you know, finding out, okay, this is what Farmer J does, or this is what 54 does, or, you
it's
know,
true.
Abdul
He was asking me about the weather under the tunnels.
That's right. We did talk about some under the bridge deals in Vegas. So yeah, for sure.
Bro, that's hilarious. What about you, Will? I think I'm gonna move it over to you. You are off camera, so I don't know.
Yeah, I am. My internet was cutting out there. Y'all were getting choppy, so I turned it off. Can y'all hear me all right?
Gotcha. Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, sweet. And the question is like, what was my favorite, like, a side quest, off
Yep.
mission?
Yep.
Oh man.
Favorite side quest, excursion, whatever.
I gotta say, just cruising around with Centurion here. We had a great time. We were roommates over in the Link, so we basically went a lot of the same places together after the conference was going on. I gotta say, I had a lot of fun hanging out with you, Nate, Cass, Yellow Cake, man. He's an absolute trip. If y'all never have the opportunity to hang out with Yellow Cake, I'm sure that Fast Abdul can attest. I can certainly attest, and I think others as well. Yeah, that dude is fun to hang out with, bros. So but
that was a
just
really good night.
Yeah, dude. But just like going out and meeting people, man, like that's the whole reason for everything that we do, is, as far as I'm concerned, is like it's all just to meet people. Like if you're not going out and you're not making new friends and you're not like figuring out who's cool to hang out with, like who's your type of person, who can solve your problem, whose problem can you solve, like then it's basically just a big waste of time. I think the people, the community, like that's the reason for everything. Like when you look past the money, you look past the stress, past the wealth and everything. It's all about just hanging out with folks, creating an extended family, and just spending time with other awesome people. So I enjoyed hanging out with everyone. It was especially fun that one night though, with you, Centurion, Yellow Cake, and I believe oh man, I want to say, well, I don't know if he's okay with his first name, but there was other gentlemen there. It was freaking awesome, man. So that's what my favorite was.
Yeah, Hex OG was telling us some stories, and that was a very good time. We were sharing over some margaritas there, so that was a good time.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever bought margaritas by the pitcher. That was amazing.
You haven't lived till you're buying margaritas by the pitcher.
Alrighty, Farmer Jay, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to you. What was your favorite side quest excursion?
I had a lot of side quest inclusions, but I was
Twiggy.
I know less than nothing. I know less than nothing.
In fact, next time I go out there, since Will and Centurion were hanging out, I think I'll find a couple of nice dive bars we could hang out with. They play rock and roll. One of them plays rock and roll, one punk, one more modern stuff, and country music, you know. But I found a few dive bars we'd probably enjoy having a good time at.
Hell yeah.
Probably one of the funniest things I did over the weekend, I would say, is learning how to play craps. It's the first time I ever played. The only thing that, damn it, why wasn't I there with Twinkie when he was rolling? That's impressive, bro. I mean, I spent in the 3 days I was there, I was probably at the tables for about 10 hours. So, and it was actually Miguel that taught me how to play craps.
So Miguel was at the table for part of the time I was there. He looks over at what I'm doing, was like, all right, I see your delta neutral bullshit, Twinkie. Like, because I was hedging some bets. I'm not going to sit here and say it works, man. My system was I would put the 5 and 2 upright, which I know, okay, like mathematically it shouldn't really make much of a difference in the grand scheme of things, but in principle you have some level of dice control. So I'm like, all right, if I start with a 7, in my brain it's like I'm less likely to land on a 7. I realize there are other combinations, and hey, it worked 42 times in a row, so there's got to be something to it.
Yeah, that sounds like an advanced strategy. I wouldn't be ready for that. Like I said, DCC actually taught me, Charlie a little bit because he was there some of the time, but mostly DCC taught me how to play craps. It was fun. And then one of the times I played the most was by myself, and I did all right for myself at that occasion at the circle before I left. I was gonna be there for an hour, but it ended up being 8 hours because, you know, I wasn't down. So,
oh my.
Hey guys, I got a bolt. It's been a pleasure being with everybody. Really appreciate everybody. Good to meet those of you that I met at the conference, and if I haven't met you, I'm good to meet you on stream.
All right, you have a good one.
Thanks for hosting this. Appreciate it.
It's been good having you, Frank.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good night. Yeah, no, one of the things I was told was, I'm not going to name names, but it was by someone I respect very much so. And he, I was like, hey, you going to come party with us with DCC and Charlie? And he basically just said, oh, no, those guys will go all night. I can't do that. I'm going to go to bed. And by the time we hit, 2 o'clock at the casino, I started realizing, oh boy, yep, it's true. Definitely go all night.
Yep. Yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. Overall, I enjoyed the conference. It was nice. Even though there was a main conference, there was still time set aside. You know, if you wanted to attend these other events to socialize with people, get to know people. During those events, though, if you had like a small crowd, you got to hang out with them. Maybe 3-4 people. I think how Frank was saying that he just hang out with about 3-4 people for a while, right? That's nice. And then you'll get to the bigger event and you'll get to socialize with more people because you can't do it with everybody, but you do have some time in between to hang out with the people you've been meaning to hang out with for a while and talk to them or bullshit, you know, have a drink, you know, like. And I think at especially at the initial meetup, it was kind of like that, right? Because although it was a big open space, most people just sat in their own little circle tables. I know a lot of us here were in that same little area, and it was like 2 little subgroups, and we kept all bouncing between them. But it never got big. It never got any more big than I think 10 or 11 people, and sometimes it was around 8 people, and we were just conversating, shooting ideas, asking each other about what we thought about this or that, or just having nice little conversations about, like Twinkie said, like, what do you do for a living? Like, you know, like how people are like, you know, how you interact with them. So overall, I had a great time. That's pretty much all I got to say about the conference.
You know, one of the things too with those with the conferences when you get together in like a little group like that is you end up hearing and or sharing a lot of alpha that really doesn't go on the streams.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Find it out before it gets to Twitter or before it gets to YouTube, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
that's you get a head start.
Yeah.
You know, and you can also have stupid conversations you don't want recorded.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of good stuff that happens at these conferences. One of the things that I would highly suggest for the folks at home, because so like we're all here on camera, we're all on YouTube, we've all got mics, we've got like there's not a whole lot of shyness, presumably, on all of us here up on stage. But for the folks at home, if you guys are watching, if you're like lurking, ninja watching, whatever you want to call it, reading the chats all the time, and the more that you engage in communication, the more people will like recognize you, and they'll have an ability to like have a bond or have an experience with you, and that gives you a lot more like starting ammo when you go to a conference. So like, don't be afraid to talk in the chats. Don't be afraid to like, you know, hop on stream every now and again. You don't have to put up an avatar. You know, you can turn off the camera, just do this the whole time, or you can have your camera rolling. But the more you talk, the more you interact.
That's how we all met here.
Exactly. It's like we were all rowdy in the chats in the crypto mindset course, you know, like that we were all hanging out and chit chatting with each other. And then like there's other streams that we see each other in. It's like we chit chat over there too. The more effort that you put into communicating, and the more effort you put into like investing in like conversing and socializing, all that stuff, the more of the awkward, like, hey, who are you? What's going on? Like, I don't know anything about you. Like, you could skip past that point when you go and meet each other in real life. And if you do want to lurk in the chats, it's perfectly fine. And like, I highly recommend you go to the conferences. And if you do, like, show a genuine interest in people. Be like, hey, my name's Will. I don't talk a lot, but I see a lot of the stuff that you do over here, that or the other thing. And, you know, I like ponies and long walks on the beach and hanging out and watching, you know, RH Max stream or whatever the heck. Like talking, like giving, when you introduce yourself to someone, don't just say your name. Give them a couple little conversational threads that they can nibble on. Say like, hey, this is who I am. I like doing this. I've seen you around, you know, so like you give other people a little bit of social proof as well when you first walk up and meet them, and it makes the human interaction so much better. So if you think that you're socially awkward or something, an easy way to push past that is just like the proof of work of just going out there and just like saying hello to people and shaking hands and just literally going and chatting with folks. So that was something that I wanted to throw out there for the folks at home who've never gone to a conference before, or who might just only watch streams and don't comment or stuff. Like it's a great big world out there, and pretty much everybody in this community is full of love and openness, and don't feel bad, and go out there and experience everything. You know, like, it's hardly ever any regrets from any of these sorts of things. So that was the thing that I wanted to throw into the mix as far as like talking about like alpha and talking to people and doing stuff, is like the social ability is like beautiful in Pulse Chain. That's all I got on that though. Back to you, whoever was talking first.
Yeah,
I think we were just shooting the shit at this point.
Yeah, that's kind of what this Whiskey Wednesday is all about, you know, just getting together as a community. You know, the DRT community, we love you very much. You guys make us who we are, literally. And also the larger Pulse Chain community as well. The more and more, you know, I go to these events, and everyone else here seems to be agreeing, the more you realize that a community like this is very special, because everyone who was there was in very high spirits. There wasn't really any of that negativity floating around. You know, people, they wanted to just be together, right, with one another, rather than, you know, say what happens on X right now, where it's like, oh no, red candles, it's all going to hell, and you dumped on my head, how dare you. Like, we weren't running into that negativity out there. And so I think sometimes it kind of seems like there's certain individuals who are just maybe feeling bad. I would say get out there, you know, get out there and go meet others, you know, try and do something positive. You know, if you're just looking at the the red candles all day long, that is going to affect you. So, you know, I think this is the part where I tell people to go touch grass and shake hands or shake babies and kiss hands, I guess. So
sounds about right. Yeah. So, Nate, to echo that, realistically speaking, there were people traveling from all over the world. We had folks coming from different countries come to the U.S. to meet up in Las Vegas. So people are traveling potentially thousands of miles to get together in the same room to discuss, quite frankly, magic internet money, right? We're all a little weird there. You're in good company. Just come on through.
Yeah. Come on and hang out with your fellow short bus riders.
We're all the same level of autism. Like, it's fine.
We're all
chilling.
and you know, some of us we're there's all sorts of flavors of it too. So it's like we got all the shapes and sizes. Everything's it's all one big happy family, one big giant tossed salad melting pot, whatever you want to call it.
And it's easy to keep like the positive long-term mindset going, because it's like, imagine buying Ethereum at 80 cents. It's like, you know, we're sitting here trying to mess around with like Facet duels. We're trying to bribe him to give us better scores on our golf tournament, so we get like the extra 10K, so we could throw into Pulse Chain, and so we could use that to leverage it on, you know, I mean, Liquid Lows is sponsored there, the Power City guys, you know, we're so deep in this ecosystem, and it's and there's so many possibilities for it going forward, and it's like there's so many people building projects on this. Like, look at Solana. Like, how many projects do you see like that are actually built on Solana? It's like, I think Twinkie might be able to correct me on this, but I think Radium moved their AI thing over to Solana. That was the last time I heard about it. But like these big chains that have all this money going through them, it's like, what are they building on that chain? It's like, we're building a chain. It's like, there's going to be everything for anyone that could possibly need like decentralized finance, and hopefully we get some sort of security or
privacy.
you know, some sort of Tumblr, privacy stuff going on the Pulse chain system where we can use it as the full. I have a American flag flying up on my window here, where it's just like full freedom, the full freedom chain, where it's like we want to be anonymous on the internet. We don't want to. We don't want centralized banks controlling all of our money. And I really think that the core principles of DeFi are not being expressed through most other chains. And I think Pulse Chain has the biggest opportunity to capitalize on those, where you could like the be your own bank, the set up your own trust, and like you could keep your Hex stakes in your wallet and then sell it to your trust once it's come to maturity, but you don't have to give it to your trust will hold it, but you don't have to they don't have the permission to unstake it because you're the only one with the keys. So it's like you're activating that code. So there's just really so many possibilities on this chain that I really don't see anywhere else in crypto. That's what makes me ultra bullish. I made a comment on one of Sami's posts earlier today. It's like, man, even if the top already happened, it's like we're gonna be flipping burgers for what, 2 more years, and then it's gonna be insane because once the baby boomer generation and Gen X, whatever the hell it is, starts dying out, giving their money down to the millennials, and there's gonna be because if you ask an 80-year-old person what they know about even online banking, they probably don't even use online banking 80 years old. And the people that grew up, in the last 40 years, we're so much more in the internet. We grew up with phones. We know how to use these sort of tools, and it's only going to get compounded and compounded. And once the money comes down from the older generations into the newer generations, it's going to be insane. So I'm perma bullish Pulse Chain. That's why I went down there only to get this hat. Nothing else. Shake some hands and all the rest, but I really just wanted to go get there and get a Pulse Chain hat. So I feel you, bro. Yeah.
Man, so where did you get that hat? 'Cause I think I missed that one.
So I don't remember the second half of the golf course because they were forcing us to take shots on every other hole.
You guys came by. So okay, real quick. So when I was at where I was sitting was the last hole, and you guys were the last people to go through. All right. You guys were so fucking hilarious when you came through. You're like, "Hey, you gotta take a shot," and shot as in a golf shot, right? And the funny thing too is I had everybody else who was going through. They were just giving me, since I was the last guy they saw before getting to the club again. They were just giving me all the leftover alcohol they had. So when you guys were heading down, I was just fucking doing this the whole time. But yes, please continue on, 54.
I was just saying, I have an answer for SJ Wild or Wild SJ. I hated the scavenger hunt. I don't have any social media, so I couldn't participate in it personally. But I'm the only retard here, so my fault.
I think you are muted there, Twinkie.
Oh, thanks, Nate. I didn't do the scavenger hunt because I'm lazy and I would rather just drink and shoot the breeze. So somehow if we can be more rewarded for drinking and shooting the breeze, I think we would find a higher uptake on that one. I want to say Mrs. McGettit was one of the early completionists, maybe first completionist for scavenger hunt stuff. Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah. So clearly some adopters. I was just not in that crowd. And as far as some of the conversations, like night one, that huddle up, I think it's because that group, we wound up there because those were the 2 tables closest to the 2 bars. So we're just minimizing our walking distance.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that was intentional, right? I mean, why would we not?
It wasn't unintentional.
Yeah, the bar's right there. There's tables here. Why not stand here?
Right, we're in it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna lie. I completely forgot that scavenger hunt was even existing. I was so busy talking to people, and people coming up talking to me, and it's like I completely I didn't remember until Cass actually walked over. She's like, "Hey, look what I did! I completed it." And I'm like, "What is that?"
The last time I saw it was I personally lost my badge. The last time I saw it might have been when I was hopping into Miguel's SUV at the Flamingo after the first initial night. That might have been the last time I saw that badge. After that, I have no idea what happened to it.
I still have mine, but I didn't get it signed. I wanted to get Kayleen to sign it because I was the first one done, according to her. Then I'm gonna have to head her up next time because you know, I can still get that done.
And then I don't know if Fast Abdul is still with us. Hey, Fast, are you still with us or are you gone?
No, so he posted a chat in the he posted a chat in the privates. He said that was probably like 20-30 minutes ago. He's like, "Hey, I'm stepping out, but I will leave this profile up as long as you guys are willing to have me." So I thought y'all were just playing along with it. That's it. But yeah, he's been gone for a while.
Yeah, I've left him up because he's sharing this to his Twitter account, and we have 340 viewers because of that. So
Hell
free
yeah.
publicity.
Thank you, Fast.
Thanks,
You're the
Abdul.
man.
Abdul's the man. Actually,
Fastest.
he is the fastest for sure. I feel kind of bad because I completely forgot to actually ask this question to my very own Mrs. McGettit over here. What was your favorite panel?
Project Pi. Well organized, very, very clear communication between them. We had to figure out how to make their slides work on screen, and I talked to them beforehand, and we set up a system, and they did fantastic keeping with it. So it just everything looked good when we did when they went up, and everything went so smooth. It made me very happy because I'm a very organized person, and there was a lot of organized chaos during this event, as many of you already know. So that one was enjoyable. I also loved Actuator, kind of for the same reason. Bill's very good at organizing it, but I don't know why all the presenters decided they needed to stand up and walk around the freaking stage. And I had their panels up in like the upper corner, and they kept getting their heads cut off. And I'm like, can you sit still? Because I designed this that it works if you're sitting, but all you people need to stand up and walk around. Like, just quit it. So, but yeah, Project Pi was great. I talked to them afterwards too, and they're just very enthusiastic about everything that was going on. So, good people. And I'm really looking forward to getting all these videos posted so that everybody can, like, you know, who wasn't there can see all these guys go up. And then those of us who were falling asleep during some of these panels, guilty as charged over here. Sorry, but I'll be honest about it. It was kind of hard to stay awake. It doesn't help that the room was like perfect, like chill zone, you know, after they turned the heat up a little bit, so it wasn't super cold.
No, I was talking crap in the back. You just couldn't hear me.
Yeah, probably. It wouldn't surprise me, Farmer. You got to get on a panel next time, by the way.
No.
Tell him about a pitch tents under the freeway.
There we go. Well, no, he's got have you seen his tent? He's got an air conditioner in there. We need to learn that skill.
Only if I can set up the tent on stage and be inside the tent while I'm doing the panel and covered in clothes so nobody can see me.
Well, you know, me and SJ, we're good friends. I can try and convince her of this. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see.
Yeah, actually, I love what Van did there. He had a very special request to turn the lights low while they were doing the presentation, and it makes sense because you don't want, you know, everyone looking at you while you're talking when you want people to look at that presentation that you've got up on the screen. And afterwards, I was like, Van, you're the only guy who wanted that to happen, and you specially requested it. So, you know, big congrats on you. That was really, really well thought through. So yeah, they're really good guys. I absolutely love the Project Pi guys. They do fantastic. Plus their protocol, I call it the lifeblood of Pulse Chain, and I really like it. I myself am using it. I'm not validating on it yet. I'm just kind of using the staking rewards for now. But if I ever do want to validate, that's the first place I'm going, frankly. So yeah, it is pretty great.
I'm not sure if it was too much behind the scenes stuff going on, but me, Will, and Zenith were playing golf, and when we stopped by their tent, I was like, your guys' presentation for the 369 conference was great, but you guys should come on the DRT. just like you guys with Liquid Loans and Power City and with Fast Abdul and all these other different projects on Pulse Chain, you guys really are the channel that like shows every new project almost. I'm not sure how many projects you guys have missed that have came up on Pulse Chain, but yeah, you guys should definitely have them on and have a little stream and kind of, because Nate, I'd love to see you go into it with them, like more of like a Q&A, like with them. So that'd be great.
It's funny that you bring that up, Mr. Centurion. Nate, do you have some information to give the folks at home?
Yes, actually, I do. So, actually, right? I have done 2 videos on Ascending Tech on my Ascending Man channel on YouTube, which is, just the Ascending Man, right? You go look that up on YouTube, and I've actually done 2. These are extreme deep dives, right? So there's going back and forth of like, why would you want to do some things like that? However, in these particular videos, it's like very, very deep. Like, this is exactly how it works, why, how you can use it, what's the strategies you can use. So yeah, go check those out, and you'll be able to learn quite a bit about it. And thank you very much, Will, for that shout out. Which, speaking of shout outs, I actually want to go ahead and gloss Twinkie here for a little bit, because he that first panel, right? That first panel was one of my favorite panels, actually. Onboarding. I've got a lot of strong opinions about onboarding, and so I was excited to talk about that. However, we unfortunately had a drop off. Someone got sick and was unable to get on that panel, and it was like that night. I'm not 100% sure how it happened there, Twinksters, but basically, you just got like, hey, do you just want to hop on this stage and talk about onboarding? And with that happening, you jumped on, and I'll tell you what, you had a lot of really good things to say. You absolutely added just pure value to that whole panel, and everybody is a lot better for hearing you speak, to having you on that.
Oh, yeah, I was happy to share the stage with you. Had a great time doing it. I actually got a run here, but, it sounds like, Nate, we might have an opportunity to redeliver that positive messaging out to the community here in the coming days. So for the DRT gang, thanks for having me on. Farmer54, was great to see you guys in person. I know Abdul is off probably talking about bribes with people or the like, but it was great to hang out and meet him as well. Will, Cass, good seeing y'all. Appreciate you having me on this evening. Thanks a bunch to the DGens out there. I suspect I'll see y'all soon. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Take it easy, Twinkies.
Good night, Twinkie.
Peace.
All right.
Alrighty.
Nate, do you want to do a? I have my magical paper here ready for holding up, if it's time for that.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're.
You don't have anything starred right now, honey, do you?
I'm in the middle of adjusting camera, so if you could give me this minute.
Okay, she's just adjusting a few things on the back end right now, and so which is funny because I originally wanted to ask her what her favorite little excursion that we had going on. I'll go ahead and say that night with Yellow Cake, you, me, Kenturian, and then Hex OG. Yeah, that was a hilariously good time. Like, I did not expect that to happen. We kind of just wandered into a couple like bars basically and just started drinking for the most part, drinking and eating.
Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, no, that was a fantastic time. It was there's something to be said about good company and being able to just literally just hear people talk out, say jokes, right? Just enjoy each other's company, enjoy the time that we have been allotted. There's definitely something special about it. All right.
I was going to say as well that
okay,
even though one thing that does suck is you don't have enough time to kind of hang out individually in groups, like with different groups all the time you're there, because we weren't together all the time, and there was times that I think I was with Zenith and you guys weren't there. So it kind of sucks that you don't get to just hang out with everybody, because everybody kind of breaks off. And sometimes you break off with different people at different nights. So sometimes you're with these people, if you had more time there, it'd be, but if you keep attending these events, eventually you get to hang out in small groups with just about everybody that you want to hang out with, which I think is one of the great things about attending as many events as you can.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're right about that. It's interesting the way like people just like run off with you too. I mean, if you think about what Frank said, right? He's like, "Oh, I think I'm just gonna go to bed," and someone I can't remember who was like, "No, you're coming, you're coming, you're gonna go
Yeah.
do atomic golf with us," right? It's and I mean, things like that happen. Like the last night we were freaking at Las Vegas. We were actually able to start running around because we weren't working at that time, and like we were just simply hanging out with Robert, having a good time, right? And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, we find ourselves at dinner with Axis and his whole crew, and it's like, okay, well now we're gonna run around to bars with that group now. How the hell did this happen? It's like
Yeah,
just people appear, grab you, take you places.
yeah, it's kind of like after the one event ends, another one quickly forms out of just anywhere. You know, like, oh, why don't we? What are you doing? Why don't we go here? Then a couple more people join you, then a couple more. The next thing you know, you guys are off. It's just that's pretty much how it went.
Yeah, it's kind of like a blessing and a curse. One of the things that I noticed about New York, and this was the same way, is that there's always something to do. There's always some group you can just like hop in with, and they'll just accept you and bring you right into the fold. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to coordinate and try and meet like with the specific people you want. Like we got kind of lucky because we ran into Will and 54 Cent on the one night where we got to go to the little Mexican place and hang out with Yellow Cake and the other gentleman who Will has a point. I'm not, or has a good point. I'm not sure if he wants his first name shared, but I don't think he streams either. So we'll just call him Anonymous Joe. But he was there too. And this was his first event and he was like super excited about it, kind of like we were in New York. So kind of got to relive that where he was just like, yeah, everybody's so welcoming and inviting. And it's like, yes, that's exactly what we experienced in New York with our first event. So that was really neat. And that was definitely my favorite night, Nate. So if you're going to ask me about the excursions, getting to hang out with the homies, if you want to call them that. I hate that word, but anyways, I just used it. Um, I was a little disappointed because like we never could find Zenith. He was always busy doing something or just kind of not around. But we did get Will and Centurion. You were awesome to meet. Very nice hanging out with you. So
I see nobody was disappointed to see where I was at, huh? So
I was disappointed I didn't recognize you right away. I feel so bad about that. I'm so
no,
sorry.
no, that's fine. No, like I said, I think after one of the events, I think one of the event, I think me and Zenith and I believe his that other person that was there, we got into DCC's car and went somewhere. The days are fuzzy, the open bar. So yeah.
The open bar was awesome, by the way. I've never ever seen one of those or done that. So
Oh, like at the casino, a drink alone, what I was drinking, it was $20 a drink. What I was getting at the open bar. Because after we went
$20 a
out and
drink.
before I hit the tables, I bought a drink. It was just like $17. It comes out to $20
Oh
with the
man,
tip.
that's crazy.
So
My
yeah.
tip, I guess, next time you go to Vegas, I don't know if this is true because I heard it from my landlady. She and I were talking about the trip, and she was asking me if I'd gamble, and I told her no. Nate wouldn't give me $3. $3 to gamble. He wouldn't even give me that, so I didn't get to gamble at all. And she was saying that apparently, if you put in like money at a slot machine, that's at a bar, and you just like chill there, that you get free drinks. You can
Yeah.
put $20. You can get $20 in the slot machine and just get free drinks all night. And I'm like, dude,
Yep.
$3. We could have gotten free drinks.
If
But
you're
we didn't
gambling,
know,
you
so.
get free drinks. That is correct.
So yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, actually, I had no idea about that. Oh, well.
Yeah, anytime
Yeah.
you're gambling, I think when I was at the tables, that's why I stayed there for so long. I was just drinking and gambling, and I wasn't losing at the time. So they just keep you drinking, So they'll just keep handing you drinks, which was cool.
I mean, you just
know,
keep
the more
gambling,
drunk
more
you get,
drinks. Let's just keep going.
Just keep. Yep, exactly.
All right,
Exactly.
so I want to bring in real quickly. We got somebody who just popped up. Someone named Corey Geary. Which
snap.
Yep, he says, "Good evening, Pulsakins." Corey, I have something to say to you. Apparently, you were basically almost unanimously the favorite panel of the conference. So, congrats on you, man. I know Will and I especially were very enamored over the amount of energy that you brought to that stage. That was something a little bit different, and like you and I had that conversation, right? You did inspire me a little bit. I'll go ahead and say that. because I brought more energy than I normally would have to even the panel that I did after that one on that day. So thank you very much, Corey. Heart goes out to you. Love you lots. All right. Did you have something to say, Mrs. McGettit?
No, I was just gonna say huge shout out to Corey. He was amazing. I wandered over to his little booth during the scavenger hunt thing when I was grabbing everybody's stickers. And it's funny. Some people just like threw them at me, and some people were like, "No, you need to answer this question or do this specific thing." So it was kind of a mixed bag as to whether or not they'd give them to you without having to do the correct prompts. But Corey, no, he's awesome. Oh, go ahead, Will.
No, finish. I have a non sequitur. Go ahead.
Okay. Just really quick, I was talking to him about like health goals and stuff, and he's just so enthusiastic. Like as soon as I brought it up, he's like, "Oh, we're gonna get you set up with this. We're gonna do this." Like he just adopted me immediately and was like just so enthusiastic about getting all these things figured out and starting like a whole journey here. So I'm really looking forward to that. I actually exchanged like contact information with him to get something moving. So stay tuned in the near future. I'm not going to give it a spoiler here because I do still need to talk to the rest of the DGens, but I've talked to a few of them, and we might be doing some more health-focused stuff here moving forward very soon.
It'd be kick ass. I was gonna shout out Zenith because you had mentioned stickers. Shout out to Zenith for getting those DGen Roundtable sticker stuff all squared away. I wish I thought of it first, but you beat me to it, bro. You did fantastic. Zenith got like, I have no idea, 500 stickers printed, 500 DGen Roundtable stickers. It might not have been that many. It might have been, a much more reasonable number.
It was 250, so it was half that. But
fuck it, A. But he got a shit ton of stickers printed out, and I just remember like we were handing them out like fucking candy, just giving them, here, take DGen Roundtable sticker, giving them to everybody. So shout out to Zenith for getting us the merch that we used to pass around everywhere. That's all that I wanted to say right there.
I was at a bar several hours after I put that sticker on my shirt, and I forgot all about it. And somebody's like, "Hey, what's that?" Because a bunch of us were wearing the stickers, right? Like,
a whole bunch of us were. Yeah.
Oh yeah, everyone liked it.
Yeah, we got a bunch of Pulsicans and Hexicans to start wearing them around too. So everyone's running around with the little DRT stickers on them.
Yeah, and I remember in the chat around those times, on the DGen Roundtable Telegram chat, like people were joining. I guess that you guys were meeting up and introducing to the community. Yeah, so I definitely saw.
I got pictures with DCC wearing our sticker. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of people. I don't know about you, Will, if you were talking to people about this, but like I was really hitting home on what our community chat, what it's like and all that, just talking to people. And as soon as they started hearing, well, number one, it's for free, but number two, like what it is that we're trying to do, our goals, trying to help out as many people. We don't really care too much about like getting paid and things like that. That was people were very excited to join up. And I love seeing that kind of enthusiasm for wanting to learn, With that being said, I do think it is probably time to wrap up here. So we are going to make a quick little round robin to just go ahead and shout out what you guys are going to be doing in the future. Any like X posts or anything that you want to shout out as well, you can say it here at that particular time. So I do believe Mrs. McGettit possibly had already said that, but I'm going to give you another opportunity just to kind of add on if you got anything extra.
I'm sorry, what am I adding on to? I spaced for a second there.
What do you got going on and where can the people find you?
Oh, that stuff. Oh, okay. As usual, you can find me in the DRT Telegram. Farmer, if you wouldn't mind being so kind as to point at that little QR code off to the underneath somewhere. Oh, there you go.
I don't know where my paper's at.
Oh, you got to find that again. That was awesome. Yeah, Farmer, you got to come back to Book Club. But anyways, yeah, you can find me in the DRT Telegram if you ever want to, communicate with me about anything for any reason. I do the thumbnails on our channel. I do a lot of like the background work and the graphics and all that good stuff. And there we go. We got the big arrow. Thank you, Farmer. Thank you very much. And if you want to talk about Pokemon, Pokemon is doing its thing right now. It's gone back to the dark ages of COVID-19. So everybody's going nuts over it, and prices are absolutely skyrocketing, which sucks for me who wants to collect, but is good if you are a person who happens to be looking to possibly, you know, form a side hustle, buying and reselling. If you're good at it, it's a nightmare. I wouldn't suggest it, but if it is something you're interested in, I can give you what info I do have. Other than that, as we have mentioned, or I think SJ mentioned, we are working on getting the content put together from the last two streams, or so the last 2 days for the Pulse Tour. Unfortunately, we did lose 2 of the panels on the first day. So SJ mentioned already that they're going to set those guys back up and run a stream with them like separately. I'm not sure what channel that'll be on. I'm thinking probably the Pulse Chain Tour channel. So if you haven't subscribed to that YouTube channel, go to it. What are you waiting for? It's no reason not to. And that is where everything is going to go. We're not putting it on Discourse Syndicate. So if you want to watch it, get in the Pulse Chain Tour channel. It'll be there. It'll be great, and you will love it. That's about all I got. I'm going to pass this on over to Will.
Aloha, amigos. So, for the ladies and gentlemen at home who don't know who I am and what I do, my name is Will Stevenson. You can find all of my socials linked off of the Pulse domain, will.pls.fyi. That'll take you everywhere you need to go. I am currently traveling the States, and I'm going to be doing some more traveling in the near future. If you live anywhere between Texas, Utah, and Louisiana, I'm bouncing around those 3 states in the very near future. Go figure, as soon as I leave Vegas, I get a call from my boss saying, hey, we got a tower to do up in Utah. So I'm going to be like, I'm going to get to Texas, hang out for like 2 days, take care of some shit, pack my truck up, shoot back over to Utah, and I'm going to be up there for a little while. So for those of you guys that are in Utah, and I remember some of yous, I'm going to be in the near future, or I'm going to be up there in the near future. So if I can, I'm going to swing by and say hi. That's what I've got going on. If you guys are a Hexican, by the way, and you want to meet other Hexicans, one thing that you can do right underneath my name here is a little link. It is bit.ly/hex_meetup. You can also go to t.me/hex_meetup. Same thing, same channel. The bit.ly will take you straight to my start here page, which explains to you how to use this meetup chat. You just go through there. You find the little places where meetups can happen, like whatever particular state or city or country you live in. You go in there, you say, hey, I'm going to go to the bar on Sunday, and I'm throwing axes after that. Who wants to join me? Come on over, guys. You can go and meet other Hexicans. You can do that cool things. That's a great way to network. That's a great way to go out there and meet people. That is all that I've got going on in the near future. Stay tuned for... Oh, snap, actually. Mrs. Producer, I can't remember which book we're doing first. Are we doing the blood type book? Okay, so, guys, for upcoming Friday, we have a book called Eat Right for Your Type, and it is a book that talks about how to manage your dieting based off of blood type. So that is the book that we're covering for book club this Friday. Next Friday, we are covering Miss Manners' Guide to Excruciatingly Correct Behavior, which is an etiquette book, and things like that. So I'm quite interested to learn about it. But that's the one we are doing for next week's book club. You guys can look forward to our Sunday show happening right here on the DGen Roundtable. We stream every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Wednesday we talk to guests or community members. Friday we do book club, and Sunday we do our flagship show. So that's the stuff that we're doing. By the way, here is the YouTube chat. A Wild SJ has been kind enough to post the Pulse Chain Tour live YouTube chat where all the videos can be found for the Pulse Chain Tour. So if you guys want to check out what we were talking about, what was going on the panels, all that information can be found over there. I'll go ahead and do Fast Abdul's thing for him as well. Fast Abdul can be found on Twitter under the handle Fast Abdul. He is the fastest camel trader in the West, and you can find all of the projects and stuff that he works on linked off of there. If you want to go to their website, it is 2fucks.io. That is the number 2, PHUX, stands for Pulse Hex Universal Exchange.io. And that's where you can find the protocol and stuff that he's working on. But the most important thing is just look up Fast Abdul on Twitter. He's the fastest camel trader in the West. That's what he's got going on in the near future. And also there's an ink printer coming out too, the incentive token. So look forward to seeing that. I don't know all the details, but I know that he's been working on it. and that's something that he would probably want reminded for the folks at home. That is all that I've got. I'll go ahead and toss it on over to Mr. Kenturian. Amigo, what have you got going on in the near future, and where can the folks find you? And
Uh-oh.
Is he
I
muted?
think your headset's muted.
Oh no, the headset's muted. I wasn't sure
Is
if
it
it was
good
me
now?
at first.
Oh, yeah,
You're good now.
Okay, cool, cool,
Excellent.
cool. Okay, the first thing I was going to shout out was Miss McGinnett, the person behind the computer the entire time of the Pulse Chain Conference. So huge shout out to you. Thank you so much. You guys did so much work that like, as just a observer and like a participant in the conference, made it very seamless. So I appreciate all you guys handling the mics and doing the cameras and the lights and all this sort of stuff. Everyone else in the background. But yeah, going on with me is farming stuff, man. It's like the soil's starting to unthaw, so I gotta go do some farming stuff, man. I gotta go, you know, whatever that means to you is what I'm gonna do. Mostly get my equipment ready to harvest so it doesn't break down in the middle of the summer when I'm trying to like, when I'm running them for 18 hours a day. So mostly I'm gonna go do my like subpar mechanical work. That's the big thing I'm gonna go do, and make sure everything just like doesn't look like it's broken. But yeah, that's all I'm doing.
And where can
Chilling.
the folks find you?
In Oregon, but if you find me without letting me know, then you'll probably be met with a rifle or something. So maybe let me know first.
I meant more of the if people wanted to chat with you online or see more of the stuff that you're doing, or just like get in contact with you and build a friendship, how would they do that? What socials you got you want to shout out, or any communities or places where you could be found and tagged and whatnot? What you got going on
That makes a lot more sense because let's keep people alive. Yeah, I'm in the DRT, the DGen Roundtable Telegram. We started the D&D game that we're going to be running on like every other Saturday, like maybe once or twice a month. Very looking forward to that. That's going to be fun. Besides that, I'm on Twitter. You can just look up my name, 54 Cent or Centurion 54 X. Yeah, but that's pretty much all I'm doing, man.
I also want to really quick add in, you can almost always find Centurion right here in the YouTube comments on our videos. If you ever want
I
to
will
talk
be
to him,
here.
he's almost always there. So hit
I'm
him up.
always in the chats. I try to make every stream. You guys are awesome. Appreciate all the hard work you guys do.
All right, Farmer. So where can the people find you, and what have you got coming up next?
Well, first, I got a quick comment. So, according to Miss McGinnett, if you have children and you're looking for some DCA money, it might be a good time to go through their Pokemon collection. Just saying,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
You ain't wrong.
I mean,
I'm
I
just
have
saying.
been saying some things for a while now, but I mean,
And
that's neither
I'm
here
not
nor there.
gonna say what Centurion 54 said, but you might end up with the same result if you come looking for me. So, but you
Excellent.
can't find me. You can't really find me anywhere. Just maybe sometimes in the DGen Roundtable chat room. That's about it.
Excellent.
Telegram's the
Alrighty.
only place I be on this. So it's usually DRT. If you tag me in the chat room, you'll find me.
Yeah, usually, and then he's got really good jokes, so you guys are definitely gonna want to go talk to him.
Might take a month or two to respond, or 3, but eventually I'll get to you.
Maybe like a year.
Maybe like a year, and then he responds with nothing more than just a GIF, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, you're back! What the hell?" That's fun. Alrighty, guys. Well, that is gonna go ahead and do it there. You can go ahead and find me at The Ascending Man. I have my YouTube channel, but then I've also got my X account right down there. Also in the Telegram channel itself. Yes, you can go ahead and get in contact with me there whenever you want. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and leave it at that. Thank you very much for listening to us. Time's your most valuable asset, and you're spending it with us. We appreciate that. That is Jay's favorite thing to say, and he is 100% correct about that. So yeah, thank you guys very much for spending your valuable time with us. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and close us out by saying, everybody, make sure that you DGen responsibly.